Waiting on the stream right now, and we'll
Waiting
go.
on the world to change.
When's the stream gonna start? We'll never know, 'cause it never lets me know. It says starting in 35, but we'll never know.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start now.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. We can just lead into it. No biggie.
Your team is banning.
Waiting on it to start.
Waiting on the stream to start.
Oh.
Your team is banning.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Is to
1.
trick the Reaper.
What's up, everybody? G the AIKO here. We're here with a mass tournament. You guys probably can already hear the games going on in the background. But we got ZEKIEL here, man. How you feeling?
I'm feeling with my hands. I'm feeling with my hands. Super excited for this game. We've been waiting for it for a while. F1 versus 9T. Primed, and we're getting right into the draft and ban series right away.
Oh yeah, it's definitely into it. Let's hop into it and see how it is going here. I'm looking at some of the back end side of things.
Come and join me.
If you want to carry this real fast.
Yeah, so right now we are seeing a Faramis, Lunox, and a Wanwan ban across both teams right now. Really normal bans that we're seeing within this respective meta. We're seeing a lot of the Wanwans and a lot of the Lunoxes, especially Faramis being a little bit more of a selective pick, might be giving a little bit of insight into what type of composition that they are looking to build. So typically with these really aggressive compositions where they can really latch onto an entire team and punish, those are the things that typically a Faramis is going to be effective at preventing. So again, by banning him out, might be opening up some of the options. With that being said, 9T is also going to follow up with the Mathilda ban. Again, another really common ban, a hero that, you know, using her guidance allows so much extra mobility on some of these different threatening heroes like Nolan, who is another top ban. That threat level is just such a it's just so serious.
Oh yeah, I can definitely see it, you know, along with the Lunox, right? And then the Matilda, the Wanwan, all insane bands to roll through here. I mean, right now, I didn't see Wanwan played too much yesterday in the mass tournament, so I want to see if maybe that's something that, you know, is on the chopping block because of a certain player.
So I can't speak for everyone's opinion, but in my personal opinion, I think Fendi's a pretty good gold lane, and I definitely think it's smart of 9T to limit any hero selection that Fendi's gonna have, because up to this point in the tournament, every person that we've seen Fendi go up against on the gold lane has gotten punished in one way or another.
Okay, all right, so we got some insane gold lanes we'll definitely have to keep an eye out for. Now, we are going into the first pick here. First pick's always huge, and they're going to whip out the Nolan. We've seen this utilized and played quite a bit yesterday. I want to see if Kenshin is going to be able to bring that same energy to the playing field.
I'll be very interested to see if Kenshin actually keeps the Nolan and swaps him off to somebody else, because Kenshin is a player for F1 that we've seen more times than not playing on the EXP lane. So I'm wondering if he was just popping in an early secure while the rest of the team, you know, maps out what their healthy decisions are going to be. And really, I think a lot of the options are going to come from the 9T folks. We do see Afnan looking at locking in the Diggy, and Yurishi really not really sure. Oh, they decided to lock in Valentina, which is really going to be a strong option, especially if they can steal that fracture capability from the Nolan and have a couple well placements of that.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they roll up here, because I think there might be a couple more ultimates that'd be well worth it for the Valentina. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see.
It's already a good start though, and
we've
seen Diggy being such a strong hero for a lot of these, you know, high elo teams, really being a character that whenever we typically see associated with a win. And already, you know, the Arlet popping up, that final slash is effectively nullified by the Diggy if that's the only CC that they decide to slot.
Yeah, it is true. Picking up the Bruno too, which is a huge marksman to pull out here. I wonder if they're gonna maybe bite back and give a tank carry or something, because their team's a little squishy at this point.
I'm
They opt to
born
go
with
for a little bit more
talent.
CC, get secure that Guinevere instead. So they're waiting to the very end for that marksman.
So I will say straight away that, you know, I'm already seeing a little
time
bit
to go
more
to the
magic
R&D
damage than I
show.
typically
Team
like
is back.
associated with on the side of
Mm,
9T. We see the Guinevere, we see the Valentina, we see the Diggy. So it's making, you know, that radiant armor just already right out of the bat such an excellent option if, you know, Jay does decide to lock down on a tanky on some tanky heroes.
yeah, that's ultimately true. You know, I mean, I've seen three magic dealers are something that's not super detrimental sometimes, but it definitely can, you know, make it or break it for a team. Teams though do have to really you know, bite down if they want to opt to go for that Athena's, or see what they, depending on what marksman they pick, it might be, you know, one way or the other that they need to lean into more physical resistance. So we'll have to see what they play through here, but they're opting to go with the Yuzong Bang. They still need an EXP lane. Definitely don't I don't think they're flexing the
I am the
Valentina or the
priestess of
Diggy or
primal
the
lightning,
Kagura,
the
so
hunter of all the
we'll have to
evil
see.
gods.
From what I know about the team, you know, especially T being, you know, such an excellent jungle for the side of 9T, I definitely don't think that jungle slot's going anywhere. Again, I'm super excited. We do see the Edith ban as well as the Lilia. You know, we still haven't seen our mid lane come out for the Forgotten Ones yet, and I do think that whoever they decide to lock in is going to be such a detrimental character for their composition, because right now they've got really great opportunities to do, you know, a set, and then they've got two really hard, you know, damage dealers. So if they could get somebody who can
Hmm.
control that flow of motion a little bit more, they're definitely going to be opening up some more opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. Yesterday we did see a Guinevere roam, but I don't think they'll pull that out with a Diggy being there.
I've been
Ah, they
waiting
banned the
for you.
carry. I was suspecting they wanted the carry tank, but I mean they opted to go with the Guinevere earlier, so maybe they just were hoping out that they weren't gonna ban the carry, or they have something else under their sleeve.
I'm definitely excited to see who VD picks up. Um, Picking up some of these, you know, picking up some of these different, again, you know, tankier heroes is just so essential right now. Showing the Ruby though, not sure if that's going to be the end all be all here that
The
they're hoping
hunt
for it to be. But again, you know,
begins.
stacked
Your
into the
team is
stacked
picking.
onto the Diggy, it might be able to do something.
True. We did see a couple rubies played yesterday, and I mean it was hit or miss. It comes down to execution from the player in order to utilize the ruby at a higher tier level. So we'll have to definitely see some sets being made. I mean, one thing we are going to see T with this Kagura, if T is the one actually using it, just the sets that they're going to bring in, and with the combination of ruby could play into their hands for 9thieves.
Ooh, I love the Navaria and Fredrin combination pickup. The slowing effects that are going to come from that Astral Echo on Navaria are going to do so much to help zone out and give great vision at all portions of the game to the Forgotten Ones, and then pairing that Fredrin into that, because he, you know, he's not a character with huge
Sagittarius
mobility,
guides my
so the
arrow.
slowing effects from the Astral Echo on top of the enlarged hitbox is definitely going to open up the utility that he can provide for his team. And being that he's got his CCs and Arlett has them, if they time it out, they can get the time journey to get wasted out, and then they've still got a secondary setting capability.
I was wondering what was going on. I seen two retries, and I was like, uh-oh, hopefully this is just a tournament lobby problem, but looks like they are opting to go possibly. Where do you think this Fredrin's going? Into the Rome?
At this point, I think it's more
Arlott Rome?
likely. I think Arlott might be more likely to go Rome, but I typically have seen Jay go Rome more, so it could go either way at this point.
Yeah, they're definitely giving it to us, so we'll have to see. We're gonna be getting into game one. We have 9thieves versus the Forgotten Ones. Let's see what they can bring to the battlefield here in the Land of Dawn.
All troops deployed.
With Land and Dawn, sometimes it feels like deep town Miami. Rough in there sometimes, man. I'm so excited again to see the work that these heroes are going to be put in. I'm definitely excited to see Kenshin inside of the jungle again. I've not really seen him, you know, jungling. He's always, every time I've seen him play, it's always been the EXP lane. So to see something different is definitely super exciting.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we'll have to see. Some of these people are the first time I've actually been seeing them, so I wanna see what they can definitely bring to the playing field. I'm not seeing anything too different from a normal rotation from either team right now. But if I had to say what the win conditions here are from the side of the Forgotten Ones, they're gonna have to definitely wait until the mid game, get that R-Lot to be able to rotate to get some of those slashes in there to secure the team. So maybe early ganks under the gold lane from the Forgotten Ones to take out this Irithel to stop that late game burst ability. And then the opposite, we can already kind of see that they're putting that pressure, like I said, from the side of 9thieves. They really need to watch out for this Irithel. We can already see that Forgotten Ones is putting pressure down.
So for me, I definitely think that the Forgotten Ones' most important goal, if they want to effectively, you know, control this map, is going to be how they respond to the Diggy. If that Diggy is on his game, if Athenon is on his spots and isn't letting that time journey get baited out, he's definitely going to put the 9T folks in a position where they can be, you know, successful.
Jay just whiffed a flicker right there. I wonder if that was a misclick. That's something you don't want to just randomly waste, so that might be something that they needed for this next turtle take here. They do look like they're wavering on it. I do believe what you said with the Diggy. Like the Diggy, though Athnan doesn't look like he's being too active just yet.
Nice little set from T, but no luck with a purple Requiem decided to shoot off. Jay trying to be invasive and trying to help control the gameplay on top of the turtle, but T does manage to secure it. Both teams respectively making their way back across the maps and want to heal.
Oh yeah, I mean they're gonna have to show a little bit more tenacity there in the turtle takes, but hey, they did it here. Let's kind of take a look at some of the early items, see what's wavering here. We already see the steel plates being picked up by Savior, so I mean, we're already looking at a lot of physical defense on the Irithel. They're definitely going to have to build a little bit of sustainability coming up, but as much pressure as that is being put down on the bottom lane, I can see why.
Something that I'm keen to see is we definitely see already, we're seeing a lot of Fury Hammers being picking up by the Forgotten Ones, which is going to open up a lot of penetration options. But being that there's not a whole lot of defensive heroes on the 9T folks, you know, I'm hoping that they don't build too much penetration and give up some of the utility that comes from some of these other items.
That is true. That's a good thing to look out for, because we're not seeing too many tanky heroes, but I guess they just want to burn through that Fredrin when he comes into the playing field. It's also, I mean, again, this is I haven't been into this new meta, but seeing a Fredrin tank is kind of wild in my playbook.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely different. I mean, there's a whole lot of things that I've been saying recently, and I think it's that the meta is beginning to mean less and less, it feels like, within the North American scene, because so many of these players are coming out so effective and so comfortable with their own respective heroes that it almost looks like they're able to deny the meta.
First blood going to 9thieves. They did jump at Find there. Findy went down quick, but they're gonna keep it up.
Flash popping up on Jay, getting a little bit hemmed up, especially by the Diggy, but still manages to get out of there thanks to, again, the wonderful utility that is Fredrin.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I think it's I personally think Fredrin's not the pick here, but they're gonna roll with it. I mean, maybe he'll show me put me in my place later on.
So I typically wouldn't want him as a tank or roam, just because I think there are typically better options. But again, with some of the R-Lot's capability of making a set and then pairing that with Nefaria's Astral AIKO, again, you know, I do think it is a viable option, especially when you look at his tankiness in comparison to anything that the 9T folks have to offer. Again, maybe not the best pick, but still a good viable pick.
Yeah, he does have the support when he needs it. The top lane's not too much going on up there. kind of bouncing around here, seeing what's going down. I think it's all gonna come down to this gold lane, and this Diggy Afnin's just, look at these. He's just bombing it up right now. Finn not even able to leave the base.
They're gonna have to. Again, Fendi just such a strong gold lane player. If they leave him unchecked, you know, Saviour's gonna have a hard time.
Oh yeah, you can already see that he's like, yo, bro, I need a little bit of a rotation down into the gold lane. He's like, I can't even make it out of my tower.
F1 bringing the entire team. Simple rotation. Gonna say, I'm not a huge fan of the 104 stack though. We did see Arlat drop on the top side of the map, which means now they have an unprotected 2 full lanes that they're now gonna slowly have to work their way across the map against if they want to defend.
It is true, and I mean, you don't want to lose your EXP lane too early. It's around the 6-minute mark. I mean, it's going to be a little rough because it looks like they've already taken out that EXP tower, which is an interesting take because normally you don't see the EXP tower fall first.
No, not typically, but it's not the end-all be-all. Again, you know, Arlet being such a strong hero, whether it's in the early, mid, or even late games of the portion, depending on how he's building. If we do see a tanky Arlet build, which is very possible, I definitely think, you know, end game he's going to be a lot more effective, but he is going to be lacking.
9thieves is just nasty.
9thieves have been doing a fantastic job of keeping split pressure rotating off of the gold and EXP lane. We've seen some pretty good gameplay also coming from the Forgotten Ones, but that split pressure is just so hard to defend.
Definitely. Had to turn you up a little bit. I guess it went down somehow, but we're good now.
We do see T secure, I believe, the 3rd turtle in a row. Definitely going to be giving a lot of edge to the 9thieves, folks. Already being up just over 3,000 gold is already is a fantastic set and capability to help snowball a late game.
It is true. It is true. We'll have to see. I want to see if Fendi can come back from how many ganks that he has been given. You know, I mean, I think it's going to come again to the late game, but I don't think 9thieves wants to let it go to that late game.
We just saw Kenshin digging deep, popping his fracture, but just barely whiffed, and it looks like Diggy's going to get to go home nice and safe. Ooh, we are seeing Kenshin again doing fantastic pressure, manages to cut down Valentina. T trying to show a little bit of presence to back VD up. It is enough to shoo the Forgotten Ones off of lane, but not without managing to steal at least that 1 kill.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the Nolan excels at, right? Just being able to do that quick burst pressure. Look at Jay kind of feeling it out here.
Oh, we do see a little bit of Jay getting a nice little control on T, trying to hammer up. T's trying to get on there, but that fracture pops, and Appraiser's Wrath is going to be the end-all be-all for her life. And now she's got 25 seconds before she's in the next map. We do see the Forgotten Ones getting ready to stage and look for the next fight right around the mid portion of the map.
That was what the Forgotten Ones needed, right? They needed that breathing room, being able to take out the Kagura. T falling right there was huge for them. This is their time to kind of change tides.
Yeah, we do see Jay absolutely trying to put in some pressure. We see that I'm Offended popping up from the Ruby, but Jay just barely gets out of there. And with the assistance of the Astral Echo, has now managed to set the 3 9T folks up for a hard press if they decide for it. 4 seconds away from this Lord coming up. How you feeling?
Well, I thought they were going to utilize their advantage to have a little bit more of a scene and set up for this Lord, but they didn't. It looks like they didn't take that advantage. They got pressured, and 9thieves just kind of slapped back at them. So they're controlling the Lord zone pretty well. I don't think Kenshin's going to be able to get in there.
No, really, really difficult, especially whenever you were looking at Jay, who is trying to make his way downtown, was walking fast, faces past Lord bound, but with all the pressure coming up from the Diggy, nowhere to go.
This is a fight.
Yeah, we do see Arlet trying to get a nice set, but Kenshin, doing a fantastic job of zoning him out. Meanwhile, Bruno's on the top side of the map, pushing and managing the Lord push in itself, denying any real gain.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing a decent amount of damage. I think he's going to have that Lord gone, but now he's going to give up that opportunity to, keep his base alive.
A trade's a trade. Sometimes you gotta look at, you know, what's going to be the most beneficial for my team. And again, the Forgotten Ones, evidence of their ability to make decisions on the fly is the fact that they've made it this far.
Right. I mean, we can see that was a huge play. They kept them all into the Lord pit while they were able to take out the Lord and himself. Though I do feel like right now it's only a first Lord, so it's not like if it touches a tower, it's not going to be the end all be all, right? Like it's not going to crash into it. It's not luminous. It's easy, right? The super minions are what you're going to have to worry about.
Man, I feel bad for that Nolan right there. You gotta feel bad about yourself. You just popped fracture on Guinevere and she didn't even blink. Not a single blinking eye. Just not worried.
You just ate it.
That's tough with a...
Oh, let's see, he'll play.
Oh, we do see Jay shooting in there, trying to hem up VD, and it looks like they are going to take a bunch of damage. Nolan keeping a whole lot of pressure, but the kill will go to Fendi. Good for him. He needs that development. Again, such a strong hero. If you let him, same thing as that, same thing. Oh, man, what is this? Jay not wasting any time trying to put pressure on T. Wow. Went from one fight straight into the other. No pause.
I gotta give it up to Jay. I mean, he's pulling out some of these controls and sets. Uh-oh.
You're in a whole lot of trouble going down. Just like I said about was trying to say about the Bruno, the Nolan is right there. They're just so strong snowballing heroes. You give them a little bit of ground, give them an inch, they're taking a mile.
Oh yeah, look at them. They keep going.
Jay getting a beautiful cut into the inner side of the turret. Afnan, you know, took a whole lot of damage, didn't go down, but does have to retreat, putting the Forgotten Ones in a beautiful position.
Yeah, they didn't want to waste too much as the Lord's coming up in 25. They really need to keep control of this map, keep that vision, and keep T9 at bay. There's the only way. They just like they're coming back, you know, slowly but surely. In the gold lead you can see it, in the kills you can see it. They're definitely clapping back.
It sounds crazy, but I do think Fendi is going to have to pop radiant armor, just because those. I just watched the burn effects from the 3 magic damage dealers on the side of 9T. They just weathered him so hard. He almost died purely from the trickle, you know, burn-ins.
He's not building it either, so that could be the downfall for the Forgotten Ones, is not having that Athena shield on their carry. We'll have to see. This Lord fight's definitely going to make it or break it for either team. The map's almost equal. The points are almost equal. Conceal play.
Nice. We are going to see the Forgotten Ones starting to stage to try and invade. Guinevere trying to dive in there and cause a little bit of pressure, but nobody really blinked back. We're going to see Jay not wasting any time to stack up on the Lord. Astral Echo popping up. Tension looking for a set. Arlet final sweep, but the Lord is going to go to Diggy, and Ruby secures a kill on Jay. T really putting the pressure down, is going to take Amister down as well. Kenshin on the run.
Ooh,
Fendi really wishing he wasn't working on that jungle.
Holy, I mean, he was able to whittle him down though. Took out Savior. You don't want to lose your carry during a Lord push, so this might be what F1 needs to, you know, keep alive. I don't think I don't know. We'll have to see if they can stop this assault.
I think they got some work to do. Absolutely. Yeah. But I will say it's working to their advantage. All the minions are coming down on the gold lane side of the map so much earlier than the Lord is pressing, because that gives them a nice opportunity to clear the minions and then go defend that lane.
Yeah, they definitely need to defend the siege.
Oh, Jay trying to hem everybody up. Purple Requiem popping up from the T, but will take down Jay. No safety for him. Navaria still popping off a whole lot of damage. Might send Guinevere home, or at least to go heal. Lord taking a whole lot of pressure. Oh man, cut down just before he hits the tower.
Yeah, Luminous Lord not able to, you know, make that super siege into that tower.
And I mean, boy, not shiny enough.
Definitely not. And the biggest thing we did see is F1 actually, they stopped the siege, right? And I think it ultimately came down to Savior being a little bit too greedy, popping that heavy crossbow to try to, you know, take more from it, when they could have just utilized their time, bided, and then, you know, pushed with the Lord. So there's really mistakes happening on both sides.
Really interesting pickup. I think I just saw T slot up the Guardian helmet, which is a really interesting pick for her because she's got that full tank build. You know, not really hoping to utilize the damage of the Guinevere might be a little bit of a setback for the side of Forgotten Ones and how they can build. So, you know, maybe that penetration is going to work in their favor.
Could be. I mean, that's what they're hoping for. I mean, we can see that Jay is an absolute menace on the Land of Dawn battlefield, just controlling 9 Thieves at every direction. One thing I gotta give up to F1 is they know when to take picks, and 9 Thieves though they're mechanically strong. They fall into a lot of those traps that F1 sets.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, it's definitely not over yet. With a lot of the controlled objectives going in favor of the 9 Thieves, they're definitely in a position to continue to be aggressive. Oh, VDE taking a whole lot of pressure, goes down real quick to Quirky. Free kill for the Forgotten Ones.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good play. 10 seconds to the Lord. Yeah, I was about to say that. I mean, that's something you don't want to have happen.
And Afnon taking so much damage, Savior being at half health, they are not in a great position to contest. Just as I said, they had the ability to. Just proceeding to show me wrong and make me look like I don't know what I'm talking about. Kenshin not wasting any time to put pressure on the Lord. Jay, beautiful cut position between the entire 9 Thieves folks in that Lord. They know if they cut in, they're going to get stuck.
Yeah, I mean, from the side of 9 Thieves, we need to see that they need to shut down Quirky. They need to shut down Quirky, and they need to shut down Kenshin. Again, they have still quite a few towers left. I think they're going to be able to, you know, proactively stop this siege by F1, but that's definitely what they're gonna have to focus down on here, and it again might be a little hard for them to do since T went at that tanky route and not a damage route. So I think what we're seeing now is 9 Thieves is lacking in damage.
So right now we're finally going to see an equal playing field at 50,000 gold, 6 kills to 8 kills. Granted, the 9 Thieves are still leading by a few turrets, but not enough to really make a huge difference. If the Forgotten Ones get one big fight with this Luminous Lord, they are definitely going to be staged to take some more. It looks like Lord's getting ready to press in and just wipes half of the damage off. But with that being said, the 9 Thieves are absolutely cutting through that Lord. Wow, look at the damage coming up. Fracture takes down T. Arlet drops as well. J drops as well. No holds bars. Granted, the 9 Thieves did manage to come out with 3 heroes from that fight and from that defend. So did the Forgotten Ones. The difference is we see that we see Bruno and we see the Nolan both from the top and bottom lane taking 2 more turrets, and just like that, we've got an equal playing field.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming down to the late game now. You know, all the heroes are engaged. Like you said, the gold lead is pretty much about equal. We're almost we're approaching that 6k or 60k mark, so that means like everybody is online. It's coming down to builds. One thing we haven't seen happen just yet is immortalities are not there just yet, and I think that's when certain plays are going to come in that are going to be either detrimental for one side or going to be the winning factor.
So for me right now, the big thing that I'm saying right now is the big thing that I said before. If the Forgotten Ones can continue to shoo off the Diggy's the time journey and prevent him from effectively shutting down their ability to pop off their CCs, I definitely think they're in a position where they can make something big happen. But at the same time, if their timing is just a little bit off and they meet in one big fight, I definitely think that 9 Thieves is leaning in the direction where they can be successful in that.
Yeah, but look, I feel like Forgotten Ones are about to make a good play here, though I do think 9 Thieves could counter this play, so let's see if they're gonna make it. If they don't, I mean, they could be waiting because the Lord's at 15 and they're just keeping it.
Oh, Jay shoots in, not wasting any time, trying to trickle up. We do see that final slash popping up. Astral Echo trying to shoot it off. T, not wasting any time, super invasive. We are going to see Savior getting a kill on the Arlet, but Kenshin takes down the Diggy just in time for the Lord to pop up. Diggy not being present, you know, is that going to outweigh the not having Jay and not having Amister? Only time will tell. 9 Thieves, again, not wasting any time to start up on this Lord. They know that they need to secure it. Fendi, you know, trying to find the right position, especially with Quirky. Nolan finding his way up, but instantly getting caught up by that Ruby, and then caught up by T, pops Fracture, but has to play defensive and retreat. I think 9thieves has got this Lord under the bag, and they do. So now we have to see another Lord defense from the side of the Forgotten Ones. But as time trickles on, we're going to see that Luminous Lord become more and more potent, which is definitely going to make for a harder defense for the side of the Forgotten Ones. So again, if they can split the map up and if they can split up the 9thieves, and just in time to prevent one of these lords from really getting into their tower, I think they'll be all right. But if not, this could be the final push.
Could be. And I mean, we're seeing such a back and forth game that this is what Forgotten Ones have to mount up a defense here, like they're gonna definitely need it. They're gonna have to keep Kenshin alive, and immortalities have been picked up. This is what's going to make it or break it. I feel like Kenshin's going to be able to pierce into that back line and be able to make these crazier plays.
For sure, but it looks like Jay's going to try to shoo off the Lord, but he decides against it, and they lose their first tier inner tower for it. Amister taking a whole lot of damage. Hemmed up, Purple Requiem pops from T. Is it going to secure Amister? Yes, it will. It goes down to the Valentina. Irithil not wasting any time to chew through. Granted, the 9thieves really low on health, not able to sustain a whole lot more pressure. And it looks like Jay's not going to waste any time to get in there. It looks like he's trying to... Oh, he does secure a kill on VD, but again, goes down to the Valentina. It's down to Fendi, down to Quirky. Savior putting up a whole lot of pressure. Is he going to be able to make this happen?
They're holding on, man.
Holding on to everything that they can. And it looks like they're going to try to take this final inner tier turret with them. And I don't think Fendi's got what it takes to, really shoo them off. But now is the time. Purple Requiem on Fendi. I think Fendi's going to drop. Immortality goes down, and he's not able to get away from it. Quirky does not have enough AoE damage to take on every single minion and the side of 9thieves by themselves. And with that, 9thieves is going to take the first of the best of 5 series against the Forgotten Ones.
That was a great game. That was a great game. It was back and forth. You couldn't really tell who was gonna get it, but congrats to 9thieves winning the first game of the BO5. So let's kind of, do you think Yorshi is the actual MVP here for 9thieves, or would you give it to someone else?
Man, honestly, I saw a lot of really good moves coming from T. I saw some really good moves. That tanky play style that she played, absolutely used it and was extremely invasive into the side of the Forgotten Ones, which opened up so many opportunities for Xavier to hop in and just really rip into people. We see that 26% damage coming from Xavier. I think that's the highest on their team, and a lot of that was because T was present.
I like it. I like it. We can definitely give the MVP to T. I've seen T pretty much every battle and securing a lot of the vision for 9thieves. So we'll have to see into the next game and see if Forgotten Ones can change the tides here against 9thieves.
Yeah, and although you did say if you feel like you giving the MVP to T, I do want to say really quickly, I think the whole team should have got an MVP that game because, and I know that sounds crazy and it sounds bizarre, but really when it comes to games like that, it really does take the entire team. One of my favorite sayings is single players don't make games, teams do. And I think that was a perfect example of that.
Yeah. And I mean, I was so, it was crazy because I suspected Forgotten Ones to actually, they were controlling, they were making those plays, like I was saying, like their teamwork was there. Again, I just think 9thieves were a little bit more mechanically there, though.
Yeah, I would have liked to seen the Forgotten Ones with their respective composition. I think they had a lot more capability of taking the fight outside of those large team fights and winning smaller fights across the map. I think if they would have focused more on fighting and splitting, again, that top lane, bottom lane that we were seeing the 9thieves do, I think if the Forgotten Ones would have done that exact same thing, I think they would have been more successful, especially in the earlier portion of the game.
Yeah, definitely. But I think we're going to be possibly jumping into the next match. We do have some of the technical teams behind the scene making sure that the mass tournament is fair and square. So occasionally they might be checking phones and making sure everybody's on equal playing fields and no one's doing anything illegal. So if we do go, we're talking a little bit more. At least you guys know why. We're just trying to make sure it's a fair tournament and everything like that.
Honestly, I think it's fair. I think it's I'm saying I think it's fair for them to do that because I mean, imagine you're the Forgotten Ones and you're finding out that it's actually Onyx controlling the
Oh,
the
God.
9 Thieves, and you're just like, maybe something's a little bit off. Well, I'm pretty sure I saw T's name flicker Kairi for a second, so maybe threatening, you know. Call me crazy, but
Call me crazy. No,
but I
exactly.
think I saw it glitch and show that. Yeah, so
Yeah, Kyrie's in the lobby. Yeah.
yeah.
But we're
With
gonna be
that being
getting
said,
into the
though,
draft.
Your team is
Yeah,
banning.
straight into it, no holds bar. What do you think? Do you think any respect bans are going to come out this game that we didn't see last game in lieu of adjustments?
I mean, we'll have to see it. I didn't see anybody like sticking out that was being an absolute nuisance for either side. Maybe the Diggy. The Diggy was definitely a nuisance for F1 into the gold lane, just the constant support and pressure. So maybe
I think a
we'll see
Guinevere
it.
could pop up.
Yeah,
Guinevere is a pretty common ban in itself, and now knowing that T is so effective at that hero, it might that red flag should be showing and saying, hey, you know, maybe don't let her do that.
yeah, true. I mean, the Gwen, T definitely pulled that Gwen out like no tomorrow. The tankiness was a wild pick last game, so we'll have to keep an eye on T because the technicality there is
Wild
insane.
but calculated.
Wild but calculated. That's true. You know, you never know where
Anybody-
you're gonna get it.
Anybody who knows me knows that the respect that I have for T is enormous. Again, just their ability to play across the map in so many different
Always on the
heroes,
way.
and then playing the heroes in a way that, you know, isn't always what's considered meta, but still making the most of what it is. And that was, you know, really what I was trying to say last game was that the North American scene right now is in such a position that they're like, not everybody's really shooing with the meta. A lot of people are just doing what they want to do and getting really good at what they're comfortable with doing and making it work.
It's true. It is true. Sometimes it comes down to comfortability and just playing heroes that you're good at, especially in North America,
There it
where
is.
everybody's not mechanically gifted, you know?
There's the Guinevere ban. You guys heard it first. Zeke, the all-knowing, aka the thickest caster in North America,
God.
both physically and mentally. We up.
The boy said he's thick. We're bringing the
Who said that?
Esmeralda thickness into the chat, huh?
I'm the male Esmeralda of the
Oh,
North
God.
American scene. That
The
boy
boy's
is a
got
threat.
we got buns for days.
He said, "Keep him off the camera."
All right.
Lord have mercy.
We
All
did see
right.
a Nana ban here. Interesting enough, I'm trying to think of what they could possibly be scared about a Nana, because I don't think Nana was banned last time. So I
I've
don't know
been
what
seeing.
they're going for.
I've been seeing a lot of really strong Nanas played.
Yeah.
And I mean like an obscene amount, because for some reason there's a couple builds right now that you can put Nana on that pretty much between her Molina Blitz and just popping that little boomerang at you can pretty much 1 to 2 shot kill you just within itself, even if you've got a bunch of magic protection. So I can definitely understand, you know, between the setting capabilities of her cat, Molina, or the Molina Blitz, you know, wanting to shoot her off. But again, pairing that with the obscene damage that she's been showing, I mean, I can understand it.
Makes sense. Makes sense. They left open the Diggy once again, though. I was actually super surprised because I thought that Diggy was gonna get banned out, but seeing that picked up, interesting enough. Aramis could be a decent counter for that Diggy.
I mean, it's tough. It's really going to come down to timing. So I know for a lot of big fights that I've seen personally, it feels like the person who, or the team that decides to use up their ultimates after the fact are typically whoever comes out on top. So again, I think that's going to pair into the Yorishi versus Quirky play. I think if Quirky can get Diggy to pop the time journey first, the NetherRealm will succeed. But on the opposite side, I think if Quirky pops a little bit too early, a little bit too premature, I think Yorishi can really punish them.
Okay, all right, I like it. I'm a huge Brody fan, so let's see. And Annie,
I love the Brody pick as well,
Whoa.
or at least I did. I'm not really sure how I feel about Brody after the recent patch notes came out, nerfing the cooldown time of his ultimate. You know, I'm not really
Mm.
sure that it's as viable as it was.
Enters the scene.
Yeah, it's not as quick on the battlefield, but we'll kind of see. I want to know if this Fanny is going to play detriment into 9thieves lineup here. I mean, they have the Diggy, they have the Lilia. What's really going to be her target? We'll have to figure out.
Yeah, I mean the magic shoes of the the magic shoes is definitely going to be a threat, especially if you're not effectively able to stun out. So I definitely think they're going to need a little bit of CC if they really want to make total use of this Fanny. Otherwise, we're going to see Kenshin diving in and then, you know, Lord forbid, get hemmed up by Arlet and just burn down.
That is true. That's what I want to see here. Though carry tank is available, probably what I would opt to go for here for 9thieves, just because you're gonna want that tankiness. You don't want Ken to be able to, you know, hunt down your gold lane.
Absolutely. You definitely need more sustain. Again, I know that they managed to get away with not having a whole lot last game because T did decide to go with the tankier build Guinevere that did save up a few options. But with Guinevere being banded, who is she really going to represent this game to make up for it? I know she's showing alpha and Savior is showing the carry. Probably we might see another tank carry coming up, but is Alpha really going to, he's a good sustained hero, but does he have the tankiness required to face Fanny head on? Maybe not.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think that the Alpha would, you know, definitely struggle. So they're opting to go for more of the early game Martis. I like it. I mean, they need that speed. They need the interrupt to be able to keep Kenshin at bay. Let's see what the last pick by F1 is.
I'm going to say the opposite thing that I said last game. This time, I do feel like the 9thieves are picking a little bit too much physical. And it's if Savior does decide to pick a tank build carry, you know, that damage that she does is really mitigated, which also, although isn't impossible to work with, but because it's the same type of sustained and then peaking damage as Martis and then also as Arlet, we might see an antique Cuirass picked up really early in this map. And if they do decide to do that on the side of F1, again, I really think that can penalize the and really not only penalize, but it could really stop the 9thieves from being able to effectively develop.
I was actually a little surprised to see this Raft pulled out here. So I mean, I think they're just trying to be as fast as possible on the side of F1. They're definitely, they build around that team comp. Like they're always there as a full 5-stack, so they really want that 5-stack support they're securing with the Raft.
So something I'm not really sure about, maybe you could answer me for, is Rafaela's healing effects capable of stacking on to Feramis's Netherrealm? Like if his Netherrealm is being diminished, can the healing counteract the diminishing shields and sustain it?
It normally does. So it normally heals them in the background. So like even if the Netherrealms pops, it will heal them. So I think it does. Yeah, we'll have to see when it comes out into the field here, though. We are going to be getting into game 2 here of the mass tournament. Oops, I forgot to go into that. Getting into game 2 of the mass tournament here, finally. We're going to be seeing the Forgotten Ones versus 9thieves. 9thieves already being able to secure 1 win here. We're going to have to see the Forgotten Ones strike back.
Absolutely. I know the Forgotten Ones definitely got to be feeling the last game, especially being such a close-knit game against the 9thieves. Know that they're going to be looking for that revenge. Hopefully, we don't see them play in a way that is punishable and ends up getting them hurt.
My brain was very confused because I heard a motorcycle and I was like, where's Benedetta, right? But it was the emote. It was the emote. I forgot that they had a motorcycle emote.
Oh man, Quirky taking so much damage. You're man, Afnan really killing it, dude. Kenshin not wasting any time, getting a nice quick kill on the Lilia. Not having those magic shoes is really really not great for Lilia yet, especially with that Fanny on the field. Even not having the cutthroat option yet, there's just no survivability for that Lilia.
Yeah, and they're clapping back though. I mean, both teams are now 1-1. You definitely don't want to feed the Fanny early into the game though. But paired with that Martis being able to get that early kill.
Oh man, we see Forgotten Ones being super invasive, trying to get some damage off on Savior, even if not being able to secure a kill on them, is going to have to force a recall, which opens up the Golden Tower option for Brody. Carry does decide to stay though and clear the minion wave. Definitely super smart on their part. You do not want Fendi getting that early game development, but I think they might be forced to give it up sooner or later.
So I want to say, like, one of the smartest things that I've seen is Savior picked up Vengeance. He only lived in that engage because of that Vengeance, being able to just be so tanky. So I want to, that Vengeance was such a great call, but is it going to be a problem when you actually have to get into team fights? You're not going to have any escape ability on the side of 9thieves.
So I don't think it will. I don't think it will too much. Typically when I see tanky carries, I see the Vengeance, because I don't think because she's a natural damage dealer, having the having that tanky items like helps, but it isn't foolproof. So I really don't think I don't think without the Vengeance, the tanky armor is still enough to make it a viable pick. Fanny does secure a nice Lord, super aggressive against T. T does manage to get a kill on Jay, but will they get away from it? Oh, beautiful Netherrealm save, and Quirky is going to secure a kill on T. Having that early death, especially on that core hero, is definitely going to open up some free movement for Kenshin.
Yeah, shutting down T early is definitely what you want to do against a Martis, because that early game is devastating. We did see some great utilization. I felt like 9thieves, just overstayed their welcome at the turtle there, and they were trying to pick as much as you could possibly do.
Yeah, I mean, especially when I think that Martis thought that the Nether Realm was out when it wasn't, because we did see him pop up and try to make that execution on Quirky, but it was denied thanks to that Nether Realm. So after that execution was whiffed, they were forced to try to get out of there, and they just couldn't do it fast enough.
It's true. It is true. And to see what they're pulling then down here at the top
putting
lane.
up a whole lot of defense against VDX, really trying to rip in on each other, but beautiful fight back from Terizala, not giving up any space, is going to send T and friends towards the middle portion of the map against the 3-man army that is the Forgotten Ones.
Yeah, man, they're definitely holding their owns here. Let's kind of take a look at some of the items that are dropping in. A decent bit of penetration being picked up by Forgotten Ones.
What was that? Oh, poor VD. Popped final slash, whiffed the Terizala, landed it all on minions, and then accidentally dove a little bit under tower.
Hey, you got to back up that sheesh with some sheesh moments.
Man, that's... as Ricky Bobby once said, if you're not first, you're last, and I definitely think VD was last on that fight. Granted, he didn't go down. I definitely think it's something that he's not going to live to let down.
Yeah, some mechanical mishaps happening. Turtle fights kind of going on. They're waiting and baiting it at this point, and what they can get.
He being a little bit deep, hopefully doesn't get punished for it. Playing on that backside, looking to get that entry on the turtle, but the Forgotten One's doing a fantastic job of zoning it out. Amister trying to set that zone. Penalty zone does drop, puts T in a position where they can't respond. Fanny secures the Lord, but goes down to the carry. VD taking a whole lot of damage, but does manage to help T get a nice kill on Amister.
Yeah, that torn apart memory is just barely almost ended the R lot there. Definitely gonna have to watch out for that torn apart memories.
Absolutely. These teams are both waiting on a world to change. Both teams knowing that they need that early game snowball if they truly want to be effective. The Fanny, like the Martis, is just so dependent on that early advantage.
Oh yeah, and we can kind of already see that both of them they've taken a death early on too, right? I mean, that's not total for detrimenting for the team, Might have a pick here, though.
Oh man, Xavier taking a whole lot of damage. Fendi really prying on him. Jay gonna help him with that exist. Does use the torn apart memories to land a nice kill and takes a tower with it. Fanny diving in, but to no avail. Shoes off the 9 Thieves and manages to get home safe as well.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great pick, right? You've already taken the gold tower. You already, you know, put quite a few kills onto 9 Thieves here. We do have a little bit of a pause, a technical pause here.
I'm not sure who paused it. I'm not sure who paused it, but I'm kind of excited that they do because it gives us a chance to really just soak in the atmosphere of everything that is going down. Both teams being super aggressive, but passive enough that they're not getting punished for overextensions. We're seeing a little bit more fight back on the off lanes and a little bit more success because of that on the side of the Forgotten Ones. But again, both teams still in the fight with the 9 Thieves leading this game by right around 500 gold with a 4-4 matchup.
Yeah, and looks like we're coming back. I'm wondering if maybe the carry DC'd or something. Could have been a little bit of a mishap, but it's okay. We're back here.
Honestly, I feel like after that flush out and death, I feel like if I were that carry, I probably would have logged up for a second too. Just give me a second, guys.
Like a breather.
Cry. I need to go cry for a second.
I mean, that's what happens when you have a Fanny, you know, and then the Brody's just able to, you know, you think you're getting away? Nah.
That torn apart memory can
tearing
really
you apart.
hurt. Yeah. Pun. You really get torn apart by that memory. Fendi staging themselves really nice back against T, getting off a little bit of damage. He's gonna pop in. Oh, but just barely whips. No health left for T. Is gonna go home safe and sound. But the opportunity that it has opened up now for the Forgotten Ones is to stage and have a relatively unchallenged Lord, unless they decide to wait too long, which it looks like they are, and it looks like they're going to lose that easy take.
Wow.
Beautiful play by BD, manages to take that mid lane tower. We are going to see the Nether Realm pop up, but no real loss there.
I mean, losing a mid tower is, I feel like, pretty detrimental. Not only losing a mid tower, they lost their position around the turtle as well.
And lost the turtle.
Yes. Yeah. So it was huge for 9 Thieves at that point. F1 really needed that.
VD really made that play happen. Props to the Arlet. We're seeing that pressure coming up from Xavier is going to secure another tower. 2 towers against the 1 tower taken in favor of the 9 Thieves. Now leading by roughly 2,000 gold. We are seeing the 9 Thieves starting to set the stage for successful team fights later to come.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we're gonna be seeing as the game gets later and later, is that the Fanny's gonna just start falling off. I mean, the Martis does as well, but I still feel like Martis is playing a little bit more into that early game than the Fanny is. Fanny doesn't have the ability to get picks, and they're not in the right place when they need them.
Oh, nice little pullback from the from Quirky, but isn't going to be enough. Xavier taking out. No, torn apart memory secures a quick, decisive kill on carry that I think Fanny's going to get a free tower from. Tension looking to set the stage and be super aggressive with T, who's already in the wrong team's jungle, but with the presence of Afnan and Yorishi, just they decide against it, and I think that's wise.
Hey, they was still able to secure their blue buff there, so Fanny's definitely not down and out. If they would have lost that blue buff, it would have been hard for F1. The breathing room would not have been there. We see
Absolutely.
F1.
I mean, absolutely. Talking about, VD taking a little bit of a hem up, coming up, setting up that triple, that final slash, but still going down to Fanny. Another free kill for Kenshin. We do see that the Forgotten Ones, you know, same thing as last game, putting themselves in a position to respond to every threat that they take, every L they take, they pop up with a dub and put themselves back in the fight.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll have to see. The first Lord is coming up. And I think it's gonna be a make it or break it here. Both teams know how to fight it out though, so even though we are seeing 9T holding a little bit of the lead in towers, I think that this could be anybody's game on this Lord take.
Absolutely. So now, what do you think has to happen right now for one of these teams to pick up over the team and the other team and really, make something big happen?
I mean, they're just gonna have to have position around this Lord and get a pick.
Oh, beautiful final slash coming up from the Arlet. We are going to see Netherrealm popping, trying to keep that team safe, but Quirky taking a little bit too much damage. Amister going to go down, forcing that torn apart memory from Fendi to try to shoo out of there. Now the 9thieves are going to be taking that purple buff from the Fanny and starting straight into the Lord.
Yeah,
but I'll tell you what, I don't think that picking up the Lord right now is honestly the greatest idea, being that you're only 45 seconds away from getting that lustrous Lord, that luminous Lord, the big La Grande Papa, and getting him on the stage with those even stronger enhanced minions would absolutely do a whole lot more. I really think 30 seconds now away from having that up, I really wish they would have waited.
Yeah, I can see it, but I think it's ultimately that they have that 2k gold lead and they just want to keep that, right? They just want the Lord no matter what, so it's on their side and not the enemies. I could see it happening. I just don't know if North America's technicality can get there.
It's there yet. I mean, only time will tell in the land of Dawn. And speaking of time, I think that time journey again from Afnan has really been putting in some work. I definitely think Forgotten Ones needs to start looking at potentially banning that out. Trying to shoo off a little bit of damage and trying to trickle down this Lord, but not doing a fantastic job. Fendi's, holding it back, and it looks like he will manage to actually prevent it from getting into an inner tier tower, but not before a minion starts to make his way into the gold lane side of house. And Forgotten One's doing a really good job at being overly present pretty much everywhere, but still taking that 2 to 3 tower loss hurts.
It does. I mean, they're gonna have to definitely keep defending because they don't want to lose one of these towers too early.
Those minions absolutely putting in work on that Lord. I think the minions at this point are trying to get the MVP themselves, not really caring. Amister taking more damage than they want to. Carry trying to get in there, but Fanny instead dives and shoos them off. Torn apart memory does secure a kill on the Diggy.
I mean, that was a good defense. Good defense. They didn't lose their tower.
Hunting. Will Kenshin find a kill? I think they might. And Fendi takes it from them though, shutting down the Lilia now with a 5-3 hero placement on the map.
India is keeping F1 alive.
I told you, Fendi is such a good marksman. I think to underestimate him is to underestimate the Forgotten Ones.
I can see it. I can see it. Woohoo!
Beautiful pressure, but a beautiful response in final slash coming from the Arlet, giving them a nice kill on Quirky. Quirky's first death of the game.
Yeah, I mean, Afnan kind of was getting CC'd there, but it wasn't enough for the team to take it. This motorcycle is just mind blowing me right now. I'm gonna move away from that. Too much boom booms.
I'll tell you what. Right now, I definitely think the opportunity to split push, especially utilizing that, utilizing the Raffaello on Jay, exists. In lieu of the Fanny's presence, if they can place it on the other side of the map. I definitely think at this point, split pushing across the map would be in their favor and might help them gain a little bit more ground. With that being said, we are now seeing the luminous Lord, La Grande Papa, showing up, ready to show down and help one of these teams into the other's base.
Yeah, they did have to just utilize the retry to secure that blue buff, so they need to kind of wait it here, right? If they over push this Lord, are they going to have the retry in time?
Savior's hungry. They're chewing it up, but let's hope the Forgotten Ones, really decide to chew it in. Afnan creating a whole lot of distance, making it difficult, and they decide to not oppose it. Wow.
I think that could be the downfall right there. I don't know if it was maybe a miscommunication, but dude, Kenshin, the F1 could have got in there and possibly stole that Lord, but didn't. It was a risky play if they wanted to.
Agreed. I definitely think that if Terizla would have bitten the damage on that entry and created an introduction for the team, they definitely could have made themselves in, especially with the speed enhancement coming from the Raffaella.
Yeah, exactly. So I think a little bit of a passive play by F1 might smell their demise here as 9thieves pushing their possible final siege.
It's going to be tough. Lucky for the Forgotten Ones, they've got COVID and they don't smell anything right now. We are going to see the 9thieves not wasting any time to cut down that last tier turret on the mid side. And we're going to see the Lord just staged off just enough that they can't really make anything happen with it. Finally getting inside of the tower itself, but the base not sustaining enough damage to really threaten the Forgotten Ones yet. Only thing left is minions, and Fendi's got minions for days.
Yeah, that is very true, and they're going to take that last hour. If they can get a pick here, I think they can end.
It's tough. There's not right now. The 9thieves are a little, in my opinion, overly present for not having the minions that they need to actually make something. So even if they were to engage and win a huge team fight, not having minions means they would just be waiting for something.
True. I have seen that from the side of 9thieves. You know, they just overstay their welcome a little bit too long sometimes on some of these engages. So again, if F1 was able to utilize that to their advantage, they could maybe make a play. I just think F1's fell out of that pace right now. I what you said earlier is what they really need to do. Split play, split pay. That Fanny should be always on the opposite side of the map.
Exactly, especially when you're looking at the Forgotten Ones being at about 7,000, almost 8,000 gold behind. That's pretty detrimental. To try to face the 9thieves in a head-on fight right now is just a death wish.
And you can already see
we do see a 4v1 coming down on VDZ. You know, cut down, no hesitation. Rafaela securing a kill. Today she's praying for death.
She's not a healer, she's a destroyer on the battlefield here.
With the new Freya Legend skin, the difference between the two starts to slowly fade away.
That is very true. We'll have to see. With them getting this pick, with the Lord coming up in 10, if they can burn this Lord down fast enough, or maybe even get a decent positioning on this Lord, maybe F1 can utilize this to their advantage. They need to do it now, though.
Honestly, I would love to see the F1 guys. I mean, I see that they're super present on the Lord, and they're probably not going to go for it. But what I would have loved to see them do is put a few heroes on Lord, stall it out. You know, even if they know that they can't win with only a few heroes there, if they could stall it out and then cut across the map and take as much ground as possible, that might have been in their best benefit. We are going to see a whole lot happening near the Lord. We see that Netherrealm pop, but it isn't enough to, with that final slash popping up, Kenshin and Amister both go down. Quirky goes down as well. Fendi fending for his life right now. Jay not having the movement speed to really get away from that carry. Quirky coming back, but is it enough?
Oh,
Fendi
savior!
goes down to the Lilia. Quirky is all that is left, and Quirky is defeated. All that's left is this singular minion. Can he save the Forgotten Ones? Clutcher kick. The minions kicked, kick him out of the tournament. The game goes to the 9thieves.
9thieves taking game 2 as well. They're just stealing away victory from the Forgotten Ones at this point.
Clutch or kick the minions, man. The minions definitely the MVP of this game. So many great slow pushes coming from the side of the 9thieves that put the minions in a position where the 9thieves didn't have to be present with it and still managed to take, you know, half the health or 3/4 of the health from even the inner turrets.
It is true. Gotta give it up to T again. I mean, the pulling out the Martis instead of the Alpha, I think, was the wisest play that they had. Right now, though, you know, VD was actually doing such an insane job in that EXP, though. So again, it's just a team game.
Those final slashes, man, definitely put in the work. Some really big sets coming from the side of the 9thieves that just absolutely won the pace of the game. My personal, even though T, I know, you know, I love T, and they got the MVP. Go for you. But my personal opinion is going to be that VD really set the pace of that game, and with a beautiful 69% team participation. I just want to say that is nice. That is so nice. I love that for VD.
You love the team fight participation or the number?
I love both, man. The combination of the two, man, just shows for the awesome presence that VD has. Not only were they calculated in all of their team fights that they were starting up and initiating, but they were calculated in their ability to know how many team fights they needed to make the nicest of all team fight participations possible. Beautiful game, again, going to the side of the 9thieves. Mobile Legends.
9thieves are definitely holding it up, that's for sure. While we're on the caster desk here, we're gonna kind of what do we think that they can do to change this tide? F1's gonna have to do something. And what do you think their winning condition of that last game was?
So I feel like I was saying it the first game and I was saying it the second game. Right now, the based off of the compositions that we're seeing, we're definitely seeing a lot more better unity coming from the side of the 9thieves. They're doing so good in these team fights, getting beautiful sets and absolutely making things work. But the thing is the strength in the Forgotten Ones team compositions is, again, their ability to sustain through some of the fights and, you know, handle themselves one-on-one. So I definitely think if they start doing that, they will see more success. We saw it earlier in the map. The Forgotten Ones were splitting across the EXP and the gold lane, putting pressure on both sides of the map, and the 9thieves had no way of effectively responding to them. But as soon as they started grouping up into those team fights, they started to lose ground. So I definitely think at this point, if they continue to build the teams that they are building, they have to split that pressure. The 9thieves are just too calculated in their team fights.
Yeah, that is definitely true. And it being match point here now, they're definitely going to have to pull something out of their head. The Fanny was a little bit wild, to be honest. It didn't play into that early game that they really wanted it to. And I think it just came to the great response by 9thieves pulling out that Martis. I keep reiterating it, but yeah, I think if it was an alpha on the Land of Dawn, that it wouldn't have played as well as that Martis did.
Sure, I agree. And it's funny because we actually did see a tank Martis popping up again from T. So we're seeing a little bit of consistency. I wonder if that's showing a, maybe a little bit of foreshadowing into what we can see for this third game. Are we going to see another off-tank hero played? I think we might. And I will say that for me personally, I didn't mind how Kenshin was playing the Fanny in the beginning portions of the game. My issue was that they weren't taking the split pushes. You've got one of the most mobile heroes in all of Mobile Legends, and you're not split pushing. And I felt like that kind of defeated the purpose of that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it did also come down to that the Fanny just wasn't able to at some points, like it was constant, like they had to, think about when the next Lord was going. I do think that F1, if they would have pressured that Lord when they seen the Retri utilized to steal that blue, that they could have possibly, changed that tide. And I whoever made the decision to play passive, it was just rough. Sometimes you got to make those risky plays to go for it, right? You're already down. Unless you think you can turtle yourself into the base and, change something, then that you could do something there, but I don't know.
Something I definitely think that the Forgotten Ones had the opportunity to do and didn't do enough was those early game invasions. Again, with that Fanny, they could have been super present, and that mobility can almost go unchecked prior to that level 4, because prior to level 4, nobody's really got the things that they need in their toolbox yet to really keep the Fanny off of them. So if we would have seen some earlier invasions and some earlier sets from them, we might have seen a little bit more of a snowball effect coming from them. I guess that goes right into what you were saying, though, that just not aggressive enough gameplay coming from Fanny in the early portion.
Well, that too. And I mean, they were kind of aggressive, but I think it was like 9thieves was easy. They had easy responses, right? Because like early in, the Lilia died fast. First one died, but then we seen the EXP lane fall. So it was like, yeah, you just got first blood, but now like they're clapping back, and like you lost your EXP. So it was like it was just a little bit of a hit miss here. And I think where the Forgotten Ones are trying to figure out if they're maybe subbing someone in Possibly. I'm thinking it's the EXP. If I'm not mistaken, on both of our games, we've seen the EXP was just struggling. So I don't know if there's just something mentally there, or they're just
So
not
right now,
performing the
right
best.
now, I think the Forgotten Ones, you know, regardless of whether they decide to sub out or not, really need to take a second and recollect themselves. Granted, this is the final game that the 9thieves need to secure the best of 5 series against the Forgotten Ones. The Forgotten Ones by no means are out of this series yet, and all they have to do is breathe and slowly work themselves into a position where they can be not only smooth but effective, and like peanut butter, really just make the sandwich. And if they can feed that, you know, that respective sandwich to the 9thieves and make them eat it, then that'll be a game. And then just like that, they snowball effects, even with games, are absolutely a thing, because once you get into the head of the enemy, it becomes hard for them to get you out of it. So if they can, again, take that second, breathe, relax. You've got one more game to lose before the game is before the series is over, but you are not out of this yet. So breathe, come back into it strong, and bring your best. And you know, if all else fails, give me a good game. Everybody who knows me knows that the only thing I care about is the best gameplay that you can come up with. And with that being said, we are going to get into the third game of the best of 5 series. Again, 9thieves versus the Forgotten Ones.
Yep, so this is match point here for 9thieves. If they can win this, then if I'm not mistaken, they move on to the semifinals. And we'll see. You know, F1, they have to hold on. They've made it this far, so we know that they have the capability. And if I'm not mistaken, they did sub out their EXP, or they're swapping roles somewhere. So we'll have to see if that is the deciding factor for F1 to change this around.
All I know is that the 9thieves right now got to be feeling the confidence and got to want to keep this ball rolling. I don't think that they're really going to care who's put where. The only thing that's going to come down to it is, again, are the Forgotten Ones going to remember the mistakes that they've been making and correct them, or they're going to forget this one and have to forget the rest of the mass tournament with it.
It is true. It is true. So we'll see what they bring in here. I did see a good response here, right? You know, I know what you like to say is that kind of like what happened in the last match is which hero was being the pain in the butt, and we can see it was the Faramis, right? Getting that out of here, just get it going at this point. The Wanwan's been constantly banned as well, so I wonder if maybe Fendi is an absolute god at Wanwan.
So honestly, I'm not really sure, because I think it was the Forgotten Ones that kept picking up the Faramis. Afnan YouTube, you know, shout out to the boy, has been picking up that Diggy every single game and has absolutely been putting in the work. And I think right now, I think not banning off the Diggy might be the threat level, because, you know, the Faramis was a good pick and they were making things happen with the Faramis, but that's not who your enemy was using.
And it could possibly be that they want to pick up the Diggy themselves, so we could see that F1.
Work, you better make that happen.
I was about to say we might see that they pick that up.
You better make that happen. But decides to pick up. Oh no! Don't lock into Valentina S1, baby. What are you doing? Oh my! Because now you're not gonna see the Diggy. Probably not gonna see the Diggy. Because by picking up the Valentina, all of those those ultimate primary use heroes are going to go straight out the window.
That is true. That is true. I
Oh
mean,
man, I love the Valentina pick. One of my favorite picks out of all picks in the game. But picking her within that S1 slot definitely puts you in a position to be punished.
True. And I'm wanting to know what 9T is going to respond here. They're kind of just showing their whole hero pool at this point. I
think Yori just showing off some of these really nice skins. Honestly,
you get
keep
all
that
the
Nana.
skins.
Keep that little Nana skin to yourself. I'm not gonna lie. But Afnan, showing up with the AIKO Cho, decides to lock in the Diggy regardless of the Valentina. That's a bold move, and we'll see if fortune does in fact favor the bold in this matchup.
Yeah, true. I mean, this is the first time we've seen Nana. I think it was left open in the first game, banned in the second, and now it is here. And I think it is going to be, I don't know. I mean, Valentina just doesn't have that burst ability as Nana does into the late game. And I am probably getting trolled here with a Layla.
Sand rises when I give the
Oh,
word.
Fendi, pick it up. Tank Layla, baby. Represent all the Mobile Legends depending on this single game. Don't you pick that. Go back to that Layla. Go back to that. And he does decide to lock in the Bruno, trolling out with the Tank Layla. He had my hopes up. I was hoping Tank Layla was going to go roam and we were going to see some money made. But Fendi decided to stick to what he knows, picking up that Bruno.
True. So
we are going to see Kenshin. Sorry about that.
You're
we are
good,
going to
you're
see
good.
Kenshin picking up the picking
Khalid.
up Khalid. I was looking at him and I was like, "What is that man's name?"
Is that Aladdin?
I almost called him Jamarcus.
Jamarcus.
Jamarcus. Start giving him names. That's the boy Enrique.
Oh.
But Kenshin picking up the Khalid makes me think that we're going to finally see Kenshin on his EXP lane, which again, you know, what I was saying from the start of this match was the primary lane that I've seen him play. So we might be seeing the F1 team now in a more classic composition that they run.
See, I was wondering that from the very first. I was like, you know, I was like, is Kenshin actually gonna jungle? And then he did. So wild. Maybe F1 had subs in play the whole time, you know, and they just had to make do with what they had as a team. So this could be the fuel that we need to see. You know, Kenshin actually being in that EXP.
How funny would that be if really the Forgotten Ones have been trolling the first two games and they really just wanted to get put on a show?
Reverse
that would,
sweep.
I just want to say that would be so overly confident that go away. If you think that you're going to be able to give up the first two games and and then confidently win the last three in a row, I mean that confidence is, you know, go away.
Hey. Sometimes that's what they can bring to the playing field, right? So we'll have to see
if they bring it.
I've been waiting for too long.
Deciding to shoo off the carry. Yeah.
It's worth it, right? Because I mean, you can already see the team comp that F1 has. It's like a little bit squishy, not too bad. The Khalid's pretty tanky, so possibly they just didn't want to deal with you know, more of that tankiness on the side of 9T. Because I mean, we already had the Diggy with a tank carry that would have been nasty, and then you're gonna be fighting teddy bears on the field from Nana. It's just all bad.
Is that official? Is Nana's Molina a cat or a bear?
I don't know. It's a bear now.
I don't know, man. I think it's a cat. I think it's a little cat.
It's
a cat. That's the choice.
Depends
man.
on the
That's
skin.
Does that confirm Mobile Legends theory? Are there cats in the land of Dawn? The fact of it is that we see Wanwan, which is, I think, more than we need to know for what might have happened in the creation of that hero. We are going to see a Edith pickup on Jay, and I think Rasilius, you know, really trying to decide who the best fit is right now. Seeing that the T has that utility hero that is Fredrin, and then the utility knockups also coming from the side of Yuzong, you know. You got to keep in mind that Afnin is there on that Diggy for the third game in a row, and CC's in a direct fight might be a little bit more difficult. So they do decide to lock in Fanny for a second match in a row, but let's see if Rasilius has got a better lock on the Fanny than Kenshin did.
It is true. It is true. I think the Edith also might be a little bit of a good play, right? They have a little bit of CC, but I don't know if they have enough control, right? From the side of F1, we'll have to see. I think it's going to come down to Kenshin and Jay. Just the combinations that they pull through is what's going to be their win condition.
You know, I want to see I want to see the diversity of the 9thieves team really take into play. We see the Melissa, we see the Fredrin, you know, we see these heroes, you know, packed up with somebody like Nana, and you all of a sudden you've got really strong team fighting capabilities. At the same time, VD has picked up that Yuzong, and that split push presence is capable. That high mobility, tanky, you know, potentially 1v5 capable hero with a existent gold gap prevalent is very possible. So they've got options and they've got a whole lot of them. So the question is will they be able to utilize them against the side of the Forgotten Ones, locking in the 3rd game in a row in the best of 5 series?
Yeah, it's going to come down to execution here at the end of the day. We'll have to find out if Nana is a cat or not on the next episode.
Of Mythbusters.
Just getting in the possible final game here. Not
Legends.
Mythbusters.
Mobile Legends.
Getting into the final game, possibly here. Gonna F1 change the tides with bringing in a new player into their lineup here.
Yeah, definitely excited to see Resilius. Not sure that I've seen much from them in the past, so really excited to see, you know, who of a player this Fanny is going to be. Are they going to be aggressive? Are they going to be passive? Are they going to be invasive? There's so many different things that are left to question in the 45 seconds that this game has been.
Yeah. We'll have to see what they definitely bring. I want to see something, you know, more control over the map, and I think they have it, right? They're going to have to watch out for Afnan. Really, if F1 just puts all their pressure on Afnan on the Diggy, I think that would be like the win condition for F1, just because it's going to be really hard to get and capitalize on taking out Savior, right? This Melissa that go away is just too great to stop a Fanny, but I think they might attempt it.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough matchup for either side of the map. I do think, you know, again, some of these early kills are definitely going to be huge and decisive. Cutthroat coming from Resilius, getting a nice early kill on Melissa, giving Fendi a whole lot of clearance to put down some gold tower. Oh man, that is going to be a huge early game gold lead for Bruno. Fendi is going to be an absolute menace for the Melissa to have to deal with right now. T taking a little bit more damage than they probably wanted to, finding their way back across the map and into their jungle is going to be very nice for them. But you know, Quirky not giving them the courtesy to pop into the recall, gonna force them back another couple of seconds, giving Resilius a beautiful opportunity to try to secure the next inner purple buff.
Ooh, they retreat a little too early.
Man, Jay taking a whole lot of damage, having to get out of there. Don't want to get caught up by T. You know that Appraether's Wrath can absolutely punish, especially from that portion of health left.
Jay took that blue buff too.
Jay got the blue buff, you said?
Yeah, Jay got. So look.
Oh yeah, I see it. Wow.
Well, they got both blue buffs.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's definitely going to make it really tough for the side of the 9thieves to respond. Resilius is not wasting any time to start onto the turtle. Great timing too.
Yep. Oh,
hemmed up by Jay.
Around.
Beautiful set. We are going to see Kenshin trying to make something happen. We do see Resilius being able to secure that Lord, and then just like that, they're making their way across the map, not wasting any time to look for a team fight. You know, beautiful gameplay coming from the side of Resilius so far.
I will say that their jungling is definitely a lot faster than last game. This Fanny's got the quick hands for F1. 9thieves, they're going to have to watch out. I mean, T's, again, Fredrin's not that early game hero. His jungling's definitely really slow. So that's something that they're going to have to watch out for, Ken.
Tough. Kenshin cruising by that. Was cruising by that to make that cut right next to T. You know, definitely the one person you don't want to be doing that against, and almost got caught and punished for it.
Yeah, Fanny running out of that energy is rough. Nana, there's two Nanas on the playing field right now. Am I seeing stuff?
The first time for the first time in forever. Beautiful gameplay coming from the Forgotten Ones.
Oh yeah, we'll have to see. Right now, Savior's definitely gonna have to stay alive, right? Afnan's gonna definitely have to be supporting Savior at this point.
Oh, Jay getting a beautiful set on T. Resilius gets in there and manages to take it, but that Molina's blitz cuts them down. That's exactly what I was saying before. Molina's blitz is so strong right now. It's just so absurd that if you get touched by it, you might as well just die.
It's just so bursty at this point, right? Like, uh-oh.
Halfman really hoping that they don't get hemmed up. Popping up that time journey, does manage to get away from the side of Jay. Jay was hunting, but didn't find it. Xavier left alone on the side of the gold lane. Yurishi trying to create some presence to open up some things, but Fendi not wasting any time to clear his minions and try to make his way into the tower.
Man, Xavier's doing some damage, but look at the pressure.
You guys let Fendi do what Fendi does, and now the whole world's gonna pay for it.
Still hasn't got a kill yet though, so I mean, again, the gold lead's just leaning in the favor of F1 right now because the Fanny's just executing so well into the early game. We'll have to see if 9thieves can turn it around and make it into that mid to late game.
Getting another kill on that Yuzong, or getting the first kill on the Yuzong, another kill for the side of the Forgotten Ones, just further securing their lead early on, wrapping up just over a 2,000 gold lead, starting to press into the second turtle of the game. Looks like it's going to be relatively unchallenged. Fredrin trying to get over there, but just maybe not fast enough.
Yeah, again, Fredrin's just one of the slowest junglers that you can definitely get, especially after all of the nerfs he's definitely received. A little bit of a rough play, and he's under fat at this point and just doesn't have a lot of gold. We can kind of take a look at the comparison. I mean, I say that, but look at it. I mean, we got a 3.4 versus 3.6, so it's only about a 200 gold lead difference.
I mean, for the jungles, right? And granted, the jungle is a huge character to have, you know, developed. But look at the development on Fendi. You're looking at 4,700, just caking out by over 1,000 gold anybody else on the map, and getting another kill on the Yuzong.
Yeah, I mean, that right there is huge, right? Securing that kill, getting even more gold. The towers look like they're leaning in the favor of F1 at this point. This is the gas that they needed in order to take on 9T.
You know, it does look like by putting Kenshin back on the EXP lane has opened up some great opportunities for them, and I'm really excited to see the Forgotten Ones playing within their own respective strengths.
I was a little rough that they did lose the mid tower. Again, the mid tower is one of the most respectable towers in the early game just because it allows you to escape, but it looks like they might clap back.
Yeah, Forgotten Ones, again, not wasting any time. We are going to see the Black Dragon pop from VD, looking for something, but maybe not finding it, and making his way back up to the EXP lane.
Yeah, I mean, the Yuzong, he knows that he has to take that tower. They need breathing room at this point. And the gold lead's not too detrimental, right? So F1, they utilized a little bit of the early game, but we can definitely see that 9thieves are coming back with the damage here.
Wow, look at that Fanny control. Diving in, but not diving in too much, managing to stay within that inner portion is just a beautiful testament to Steel for Resilius.
Yeah. First Lord. Couldn't be me. Not fast enough hands. I'm thick, but not fast.
Yeah, that's right. We are thick, but not fast. Don't ask for nothing. Jay trying to get a beautiful setup. Kenshin trying to work up on the black line, keeping Afnan back a little bit. Oh, VD does secure a kill. Oh, but Fanny does too. VD putting down the entire team. 1-for-1 trade. Quirky and Jay both went down, but so did the Afnan and T. And you are seeing the Lord coming out for the first time in the favor this match of the Forgotten Ones. Pressure coming from Kenshin, trying to hem up, and Fendi does manage to help secure the first tier inner tower while the Lord starts pressurizing.
Pressurizing. that's an interesting choice of words. I like it, but hey.
Those slow pushes with those minions add up so much, and if the Lord goes unchecked with the minions that he has respectively, and if he's not assisted as well, that pressurizes that lane. Because as you see, the minions are starting to catch up, and if they don't push too much, you're going to see 6 minions trampling this, tramping around with that Lord, and that is a pressurized map. If I don't know what else to call it.
I like it. We're gonna see a lot of pressure here, though. Doesn't look like they were able to take that blue from 9thieves, though.
It does look like that Lord is going to be trying to make his way into that inner tower, but is he going to be able to do it? No, he won't. Melissa is just too fast.
Yeah, that's the passive on these tier 3 towers, right? That implosion it does. Even though there were 6 of the minions, they just all died.
Yeah, it's tough. Those enhanced minions, little goblins, as I like to call them. So you guys might hear me say it. The goblins, that's what I like to call the enhanced minions on the first tier effect. But whenever you start getting into the enhanced minions that come naturally from having an entire lane defeated, boosted by the Lord's presence, makes those hobgoblins, the strongest capable minions that you can see on the map. And if you let those go unchecked, they will take everything that your base has to offer.
It's true. We're kind of taking a look at some of the items here. We got some anti-heal being picked up from the side of F1. My guess is that they're trying to just keep them at bay. I don't know, who would they be afraid of to utilize this anti-heal?
Honestly, I think it could be something to help keep the... You said Diggy?
At this point, I don't know.
So a lot of it's going to come from that Yuzong pick. As that Yuzong decides to build up, if he does decide to slot Oracle on top of War Axe items, he's going to become very capable of sustaining his way through these team fights. And even in his Black Dragon form, as he hits more and more players from the side of the Forgotten Ones, he's going to be able to get more and more health back.
I got you. Being able to keep him at bay so he's not able to pierce that back line and take down Fendi, because that is definitely, between the Fanny and Fendi, they're definitely carrying the game.
I'm telling you, the Forgotten Ones never forget, like the Alamo.
This is the split plays we wanted to see last time.
Putting up some pressure on VD, but again, that's sustained from the health, keeping him in that fight. Now, Fanny's got to make her way back across the map as the Lord's trickling down on health. Will she make it in time? Kenshin goes down to Yorishi. T being present. Fendi looking to keep it zoned off enough, but T does manage to take it just in time. Fanny was not fast enough.
They want him.
VD trying to get Jay, but doesn't manage to do it thanks to Fendi.
Whoa!
Oh, Fendi did manage to pop the world and take it back. Why is that Lord walking so fast?
Not pressurized this time around. Dude.
This man is speed walking across the map. Give him a little bit of visor, some white jogging pants, and he is moving.
Dude, they eradicated that Lord as fast as he was moving, though, so... You're just picturing the Lord with like
so
fucking sweats on now,
huh? little tennis outfit. I would love that. I think that we should give the Lord more skins.
I'm telling you, more minion and Lord skins, less heroes.
That's what I want to see in the Land of Dawn. I will pay 500 diamonds to have a tennis Lord show up on my screen. Mobile Legends, don't charge me for that.
They're definitely charging you. I was about, they're definitely charging you.
He said, "How much money you got?"
How many diamonds? Not enough.
You thought I was Philly? Oh man. T looking to make something happen, but again, shooed off by the overwhelming presence of the Forgotten Ones this map. Kenshin trying to shoot T off, but T's just not giving up a whole lot of ground, even within the respective side of the Forgotten One's own jungle. Is going to get knocked up by Jay and taking a little bit of damage, trying to keep him off. Resilius, not being where they wanted to get into, has to shoo out of there. We are going to see the Black Dragon pop, but not able to find anything. Maybe a little bit a little bit late, I guess, if anything. Beautiful retreat coming from Resilius. 3-1-0, 8 kills to 4 kills in favor of the side of the Forgotten Ones, but only leading by about 1,000 gold.
Yeah, Forgotten Ones. They're man, they were controlling the game so good into the early, but it does seem like 9thieves are coming back. Losing that Lord, I think, was the breathing room that 9thieves needed to mount a comeback and from that early game presence. Ooh.
Right, but it's not over yet. Kenshin does get petrified by the VDX, you know, a little bit premature. VDX taking more damage than they want to. Fendi not wasting any time to really start putting that pressure on T. Does pop the worldie in a beautiful position that is going to trickle back and forth between the side of 9thieves, just cutting through them. Unfortunately, doesn't land a kill from it.
That was a good call by 9thieves. They actively backed up because they knew the Lord was respawning. They didn't want to risk it for the biscuit there. And I think it's definitely going to come down to this Lord on who has a heavier presence into this match.
Absolutely. Again, the 9thieves looking to really seal the deal on this series. You know, the Forgotten Ones decided to wait until the third game to really put the pressure down. Hopefully, they can get this this 3-game streak going. Otherwise, it's too late for them.
It is true. It is true. They're kind of just baiting the Lord at this point. I think they're maybe wanting to try to get more HP on this Lord before they take it, but it could just be that they just don't want to completely risk it. Yeah, Quirky does have the time journey though, so they are prepared for a battle. But again, I think they might just be split pushing with the Fanny.
Look at what Afnan is doing, completely coating the entire backside of the tower. Saying Kenshin looking like he's gonna have to bite the bullet. Beautiful team engagement on the side of the Lord coming from the 9thieves. Is Resilius going to be able to respond to it? A little bit slow to it. Will they get it? Ooh. No, they don't. T secures another Lord, and we find ourselves in a team fight. But the side of the 9thieves said, you know what? We'll spare you this so we can take from you then. Turn the other cheek, and I'm smacking it too. 9thieves back in the fight.
That turned wild. Yeah, really, to be honest, the Fanny was just putting way too much pressure onto that blue buff. They just ultimately suspected they only needed the blue buff to be able to take on the Lord, and then they missed a couple of cables, and I think the pressure got to them.
The priority was just a little bit off. You have to make those time-based decisions, and just right there they didn't. A whole lot of damage coming from Kenshin. Oh man, what was that?
A 1v1 in the bottom lane
finding
too.
Himself in a bad position, does get hemmed up by Jay and cut down. Melissa putting the work back in. Both teams really cutting through each other.
Comes
Resilience getting a beautiful cleanup on the Nana. Melissa trying to shoo him off, you know, looking for it. Ooh. And finds Resilius, but Resilius gets a nice shield that saves them and is back on top of the Lord. Fendi putting up the defense, and I think that the Forgotten Ones are going to get a beautiful defense this this series.
Yeah, I mean, the solo kill in the bottom lane by Resilience onto that Yuzong onto VD was the best thing for them. Again, both teams are just giving something back and forth, and they're holding on. F1 does not want to be counted out yet.
I definitely think that, you know, for a top of 8 series game, I don't think we could be looking at a better matchup of teams right now. The Forgotten Ones versus the 9thieves, very evened out in every game, back and forth. I think that the 9thieves have been doing a little bit better of a job of sealing the deal. But again, you know, each one of these games have been either team's game for the taking.
It's true. It is true. I mean, right now we are seeing F1 is just they're helping Resilience as much as possible. They are controlling a decent bit of like the sides as well, so I like that. Immortalities are being popped, or being taken now here by the Fanny. Fanny's full build. Look at that, 11k gold.
Oh no!
There's
Yorishi locking in the glaive, man. That might be tough. A little bit more damage, a little bit more penetration is definitely going to make it that Melina's blitz hurt. Looking for an early kill. The Forgotten Ones tried to zone out that VDX, but the presence from T was enough to shoo them off. They knew that they knew that utility was impending, so decided to shoot themselves off. And a good idea on top of it, 5 seconds away from the next Lord.
Exactly. My guess is that they suspected that with that conceal play, if they were able to get someone, that maybe someone was trying to split push. We've kind of constantly been seeing VD have to respond to the split pushes, so I'm guessing they suspected that he was there. Not quite sure what they tried to do with it, but they did, you know, waste the conceal play.
Right, and I do think that it was smart also for the side of the Forgotten Ones. It looked like they were looking to try to get an easy gank, and if they were able to get that that Black Dragon off the map, it would have set them in a perfect position to be super aggressive on top of this Lord, but they just don't have it yet. I do like to see the Jay keeping a little bit of presence, not allowing the 9 Thieves to really zone them out completely. Kenshin looking to make something happen. He knows if he can get on top of this Melissa, he can cut her down so quickly.
Yeah, and I mean, you can kind of see in Jay just baiting the Lord. They don't want it to be on the side of 9T's map. They're trying to get another cheeky pick off.
Oh, and they go right in for it. Get a beautiful time journey coming up. Yorishi does manage to cut through Kenshin though, no issues. Jay trying to make something happen, does get a knockup, but is going to get cut down by Sevier. Fendi going to get the kill on T. The jungle is down, and the retribution capability is present. If Resilius can get in there and make this happen without going down to the 4 still left alive on the side of the 9 Thieves, this could be it.
Yeah, I mean, look at them. They're both waiting here. They know that the jungle is down. I feel like Fendi and Resilience would be able to take that Lord, but then you have, just look at them. They're hunting.
Sevier is absolutely a threat right now. It looks like VD is going to start on the Lord. That might be the wrong move, because all it's going to take is one quick rotation from that Fanny, and you're going to lose it.
Yeah, I think they're trying to bait something here. They're
waiting too long though.
He's cooking up marshmallows in that bush.
Yeah, I mean, he's camping. He is camping. But you know what? More power to him. What they did worked, and it kept the Forgotten Ones off the Lord long enough that T was able to get back into the fight.
Exactly. And now we're seeing the Lord engage happen once again. Resilience at that blue buff.
Get away from that buff.
Yeah, he got it this time. He's ready.
Oh man, I
hope
he doesn't cut through with those cables and get absolutely eviscerated by
Diggy bombs.
the Diggy's little bunnies.
Uh-oh. Backside.
Oh, Fendi gets a kill on the Black Dragon. T over engaging on Jay, taking half damage going down. Kenshin on the job. They are going to take another kill on T. Molina's blessing gets Yoro off of there, and it looks like the Forgotten Ones are going to get a nice clean Lord take with all players still on the map.
Yeah, I mean, we're 22 minutes into this, right? And there are still like towers up. Like everybody has all of their tier 3. There's still tier 2 standing for the side of 9T, so this Lord is going to be here to sweep the board clean of 9T. F1 wants to end it here.
Right, with the 9 Thieves still leading with a 1 tower advantage, but Resilius getting ready to cut that down and bring the game back even. We do see the Forgotten Ones being really present and do manage to take a inner tower before the Lord even shows up. Is going to put them in an awesome position to work split side across the map and really cut in on both towers. They're going to be taking this map for everything it's worth.
100%, and
Lord
they took everything.
Fendi not giving up any ground. Even if they lose this Lord, they have taken the entire map, enhanced minions everywhere. This is not fun for the 9 Thieves. In a kid's playground, they're just a little bit too big for the slide at this point.
Hey, they live to see another day, though. I mean,
I don't think the goal was finishing the game right now, because the big thing you got to remember is that not every push is the final push, right? And I think that the Forgotten Ones took that into account, and they staged they staged themselves so well that they got every single tower, and now any push could be the last push.
Yeah, exactly.
Lord forbid, Lord, if they get the Lord again, the hobgoblins are here, ripped and ready to go on every side of the map. And there's not really going to be any way to effectively defend that for the side of the 9 Thieves. They have to get this next Lord if they want to stay in the game.
It's like, I don't know what Jay and them are doing. They're setting up for something, and 9 Thieves know it. They're trying to get him out of here.
Oh man, gotta be careful with that, Resilius.
Yeah, we're running into that late game where the Fanny kind of falls off, right? Like she doesn't have anybody that she can pick. The Diggy's too tanky, Savior has the go away. Nana has a built-in mortality and has immortality.
I want to just take the second to and also recognize,
oh
man, Resilius put themselves in a bad position, taking a whole lot of damage, needs to get out of there. Oh man, I get wanting to put down the Nana, but it's not that serious.
Yeah, I mean, there was how many more immortalities? 2.
Not enough. Not enough, especially 15 seconds coming up away from the next Lord being up.
Yeah, that's just Fanny trying to grasp at anything at this point, like the only person they really can put damage down on.
Duck and weave, that's what the gameplay is right now. And the nice thing too is the Forgotten Ones got to know if they can bait a fight on top of the Lord and really stall it out. They don't even have to take the Lord. They can just allow the enhanced minions to slow push across the map and slowly control everything. And then all of a sudden, the 9 Thieves are going to have to choose: do they protect their base from the minions or fight for the Lord?
Yeah, and a little bit of a mechanical miss right there by Afnan, popping that time journey early. Not going to have it for possibly this Lord fight. We can see.
It looks like Fanny's going to start trying to bring that challenge up on that top side of the lane, forcing that Yuzong to be present, and is going to try to swoop in and secure a nice fight for the side of the Forgotten Ones in a 5v4 interaction. Nana taking a whole lot of damage, having to shoot out of there. Kenshin rip-roaring and cutting him down. Molina's Blessing goes down, so does the Immortality. Oh man,
look at the base.
Quirky dropped, but Kenshin is ready to put it down. Yorishi is all that's standing between these guys right now. The whole team having to come to collect, but Fendi having an awesome opportunity to get back onto the Lord and put some work in. And it looks like that is exactly what he's going to do.
Afnan was feeling a little greedy there. Popped the flicker to try to 1v1 the Fanny.
Somebody's got to do it. Somebody has got to do it.
Why not the little owl, huh?
If there's nothing that I have learned from Mobile Legends, it's fight the little girl with cables. Don't ever fight a child, especially a little girl. But if she's got cables, maybe fight her first.
She's deadly if she's got cables, that's for sure.
If she's got grappling hooks, she's a problem.
In's looking for that back door.
Kenshin is doing a fantastic job at keeping pressure on all portions of the map, which is going to open up so many opportunities for the for the 9 Thieves to try to Resilius takes it right from the 9 Thieves' mouth. With the back door happening, Kenshin doesn't care about the Lord. He doesn't care about the Lord. The first win of the night for the side of the Forgotten Ones, right out of the mouths of the 9 Thieves.
Dude, Ken was hunting for that back door.
Man.
They even secured the retry, so like the back door wasn't even needed, but it happened.
He did it anyway. He said 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, 4. Coming up is the back door. Forgotten Ones. First win of the night. Back into the series.
Finn carrying the game, swapping it. I think swapping Ken to the XP and resilience coming in, just it played good for F1.
I'm telling you, Kenshin is a fantastic EXP lane, and I'm so happy to see them back on lane because this is where they really thrive. Again, those beautiful plays, whether it's the back door or the lane management, those small micro plays off lane are just, that's where Kenshin makes the money.
It is true. Getting into that back lane, he was doing tons of damage, and then also the back door, he's like, I might have got a silver, but I beat the base down.
Yeah, I mean, we might call Kenshin the MVP of that game. He made that thing happen. I mean, will we?
Wild.
Probably not. But he did put in so much good work. You know, that presence of Fendi, you know, that Bruno just ripping through people was so undeniable and so well played. Again, just great team play coming from the side of the Forgotten Ones, giving them the first win on their side of the team in the best of 5 series. So it now is a 2-1. Again, every game could be the last game when you're talking about the 9thieves right now, but by no means is this match over yet.
I mean, it could be anybody's game at this point. Do we see a reverse sweep series? I personally think 9thieves is going to ban that Fanny.
Oh man, I think they need to ban something. I think the Diggy gotta go. The Fanny got somebody gotta go, man. Somebody has got to go, and I'm hoping that it's not me.
Oh gosh.
Zeke banned.
Zeke banned. Somehow he became a hero.
I mean, I'm still fighting for to get a character made after me. That's my goal. Moontown, if you ever see this, hit me up.
I didn't cure the pain.
You thought I was
My
killing you?
That'd be wild. They're like, let's get a Zeke skin.
That's what I want. I don't want a Zeke. I want a whole character. I want a character.
That'd
Give
be
him
wild. What's the
give him a
special
shotgun.
abilities?
Oh, actually, don't even start me. I have a whole
Oh,
thing
gosh.
mapped out.
Whips out his D&D playbook. This is
yes.
me.
No, I'm just kidding. What's he do? His cheeks, his passive. Every time the cheeks clap, every step he
Oh,
takes
gosh.
radiates damage, like the
Oh.
cursed helmet.
Oh man.
What's that smell?
Getting into this game though. Getting into this game, we see Joy being banned out, Wan being banned out, and then we also see a Valentina. Wild.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen the Fanny ban yet or the Diggy ban. Will they happen? Probably not. Oh
We'll
man, I
see.
definitely think it would be keen of them to, especially with how much of a threat that Fanny did bring. Resilius absolutely represented the Fanny community with that game.
Yeah. And I mean, so far we're not seeing that ban come through. They're not, maybe they're not as scared as the Fanny is suspected. I'm actually surprised. Are they need to start, to be honest, like banning Fendi at this point, right? Like that dude on a Bruno, nasty.
That's what I've been saying the whole series. Fendi on the gold lane, if you leave him unchecked, he will take the map.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've seen it. We've seen it. I mean, just bursting through with the Bruno, where they're gonna see. I mean, this is the fuel F1 needed. F1 cars. Fuel. Let's get it.
Back to the map.
The map. Where's it at?
Well, it's in front of me. I keep the map of the United States here, present, represent North America.
But back to it. The fuel that they needed is definitely here. Now, is this gonna? This is lighting a fire under F1. Can 9T come back from this?
Yurishi slotting the Nana in the first pick again. How do you feel about that?
I mean, it was definitely a damage dealer on the field for 9T last time, but it didn't really come into a huge play, you know?
Yeah, I mean, she had definitely some great openings, but with the team composition, I do feel like she got a little bit overshadowed by that Diggy.
The Edith was a good hero that played into the last match. I actually suspected that they didn't have enough CC, but Jay definitely executed the Edith very well, picking up a carry though.
On Fendi, that's kind of scary.
That's huge.
The carry be scary. I'm really wanting to see what we're gonna get out of the Edith from Jay. I mean, I know you said that you liked it, but I kind of felt like that occasional stun was nice, but I didn't feel like it was enough overall.
Yeah, you have to be very skilled and hit everything when it comes to the Edith. So if 9T
Absolutely.
can dodge all of that, I think it'd be what they'll want to go for. Opting to go for the Martis though, they're anticipating the Fanny.
Interesting. We're gonna see. Honestly, I feel like Rusilius might be confident enough to still bring up the Fanny. You know, especially with the Exborg pickup as well. You know, being that that's not a super CC oriented hero, you know, picking up a CC based jungle might work against them. So we might get another Fanny.
Yeah, we could possibly. I mean, the Exborg's a little wild. I like it. I mean, it's a sustainable hero. Definitely something that the Fanny would have a hard time against. All three of those heroes are definitely something Fanny is going to have a hard time with. The built-in immortalities by Nana. And then, of course, the Exborg just has that shield, so he's not the easiest hero to burst down. Also, a good counter for carry as well.
Do you think though do you think the last insanity of Exborg is strong enough to not only sustain him through the cutthroat of Fanny, but win out?
If it's out, no. But I mean, if he's utilizing, he's full HP, the gank is not gonna come towards him. You know, like, well, again, it just all come down to the utilization of that last insanity, keeping it up when you need it, and staying alive when you can. You know. We'll see. Fanny's not picked yet, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Rusilius actually being up next to Ban, really keen to see who they decide to slot off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is the lobby lagging or.
For honor.
I was like, that said 0 for a long time.
Picking up that Tigreal Ban.
Sir,
Really
command?
interesting. Oh, we do see the Fanny Ban just in time for Rusilius to not get it. I'm really interested to see the Tigreal ban, because I don't see a whole lot of heroes yet that the F1 folks are picking that would really be hurt by the Tigreal. Granted, Tigreal is as strong as he's ever been, and his stuns have been absolutely immaculate. His damage, immaculate, making him, honestly, one of the best tiering roams at the moment. Just still not sure where he would fit into for effectively countering the F1 composition. So I'm really interested to see what they pick up next.
I think they're just trying to get rid of everything. I mean, Diggy's still open though, so not quite sure why they keep banning other tanks.
That's all he needs. That is all he needs. If you give Afnan the chance to pick Diggy, he's picking Diggy, baby.
Yeah, and another thing to go off of, right? Like the Edith is quite a pretty good counter to Tigreal, so I was wondering, I was like, Tigreal,
Yeah,
I'm just not
seeing the threat that Tigreal would bring yet. So again, that's where I'm getting at when I say, you know, I want to see what the rest of the Forgotten ones pick up, because what are they thinking about that Tigreal is the threat?
It is true. That's kind of what I want to know, right? And who knows? We'll see. Maybe with these picks, it could be maybe the jungle that they want to attempt to go for. Maybe they opt to go for like a Lancelot or
oh, the Fredrin.
24/7.
Not sure that makes sense with an Exborg on the map, but we'll see what Rusili is cooking up with.
It is true. Oh. I mean, we've seen him in the roam last time, but now he's going to be in the jungle. I think Fredrin, they're playing maybe for the late game for the carry. Is the only thing I could possibly think about. They need that tanky front line. The Edith is quite tanky, but again, they are squishy, so they needed more tankiness.
It's my way
We got to see what Kenshin pops up with to deal with this Exborg, because right now that Exborg is a problem for everybody on that comp. With that Fredrin included. Hafnan was showing the show, and he was thinking about it, and he decides to lock in a minnow. Hafnan picking something other than Diggy? Impossible.
Maybe
There's
I don't know.
no way.
I mean, they just don't have a lot of CC or control on the side of F1, so they're just not worried about that anymore. They want to have the CC and control on their side. I like it. I mean, we do see that their whole team is like an upfront and get in your face comp, right? So what else would be a better response? A full-on rage barrage.
Yeah, Kenshin, looking at this Esmeralda pretty hard. I'm not really sure how that's gonna play out for them because the like you'll work well against the X-Borg, but that might be the only real contender that we see Esmeralda really being able to punish. But I guess, you know, with Savior's ability, with that full barrage popping up, you know, being that they are stationary within that respective time frame, maybe they'll be able to make something happen if they don't get caught up by that Minotaur.
It is true. I mean, we'll have to see. This is the first time we're seeing Ixia come out as well, so wild to see her on the Land of Dawn. I think it's gonna come down to how well they can do this Fredrin, right? Can Fredrin farm fast enough and stop the Martis? Martis is definitely early game, so we're gonna see 9T try to end this as fast as possible, where F1 wants to delay that.
Absolutely. I do think that, again, in some of these team fight interactions, you know, as per normal for this series, the 9thieves definitely have more capability. But whenever you're talking about smaller fights across the map, I think that's where the Forgotten Ones are going to be able to take their, you know, take the power. So if they can make those small interactions and stay away from huge 5v5 team fights, I think they might be able to win out.
It is true. It is true. We'll have to see what they can do here. We can already see that Fredrin's definitely needing that help for the baseline. Thing just clicked away. I'm fighting a cat right now.
Yeah.
It's not Nana.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough. Afnan taking a little bit of damage from that Lilia for being present, you know, doing what he's supposed to be doing, but Afnan not being new to this, really looking to see what Fendi makes happen with this carry, because we've not seen him on the carry. We do see him representing the flicker, which makes me think that maybe this isn't going to be the meta tank carry that everybody's been seeing. Maybe this is going to be a straight up carry.
Could possibly. Could be. We've seen hybrids pop out. We've seen tank carries pop out. We'll have to definitely see. Looks like they're going a little bit more of the damage route, though.
Yeah, a very keen. Again, you know, Fendi in all of their capabilities, always a threat no matter the composition. On a hero like carry, could be the carry capability.
I like it. The puns are there. And we're seeing it. We see T showing some pressure down here, like we said, that they have to put it on to Fendi down here. But he's just so good at responding and knowing when he's gonna get ganked.
Yeah, but hopefully T doesn't find themselves diving too deep, taking a little bit more damage than they want to do. Now they're in a position where they've got to heal a little bit more if they want to effectively contest, because Fredrin's got a full bar of health. He is primed and ready for this. Esmeralda putting in a whole lot of work on the X-Borg on the top side of the map too, means the X-Borg might not be able to be as present as he wants either for this turtle interaction.
I mean, look at the aggression by F1, right? They're just pushing 9T back, already securing that turtle with this Fredrin, and they're just keeping them at bay.
Beautiful zoning. And we are going to see a turtle secure for the Forgotten Ones. And they're going to see a nice stun on Yurishi. Minotaur popping the Minoan Fury, really hemming him up. Oh man, VDX trying to buff it out. Martis is going to get a kill on the Fredrin, but Kenshin under pressure from T cutting them down. 1, 2, 3. Triple kill for T. And then just like that, they're going to find themselves on the golden turret, grabbing some free gold.
What a play right there, right? Just an
Big money
absolute
moves.
menace.
Big money moves.
I'm telling you, T is online into the early stage, and F1 does not want that. They need to respond.
VDX, VD just a little bit, you know, closer than they wanted to. Had to pop that last insanity to get out of there. A good evade, good use of that ultimate. You know, I'm glad to see that they get to reset, because they almost didn't.
That is true. And we're seeing Afnan give so much support to his carry. And I mean, that just goes to show how strong of a gold lane F1 has. And I mean, it's respectable, right? I mean, you gotta help out your gold lane at some point. So we'll maybe see some rotations coming down here to the gold. F1 needs to shut down T though. So I feel like that is something they need to work on and execute. Find him, capture him, kill him.
Yeah, don't let that kid anywhere near any public parks because them kids are in trouble. And we're going to see Afnan taking a whole lot of CC put down real quick, but the Appraiser's Wrath return. Full barrage popping up from Savior, but not getting what they want out of it. We're going to see Savior just can't get away from the stuns. Going to be ripped down and cut up by Rasilius. Jay is going to drop, but the Savior trade has been made.
Ooh, quirky. Forcing him to go back. That is true. I mean, F1 is possibly pulling it here. I mean, we see that they've lost 2 more people than normal, so we'll have to see who can take this turtle here.
Yeah, T doing a fantastic job, doing a fantastic job so far for setting up the stage to not only be present, but to effectively take the things that they want to take. As long as they can keep the pace, the F1 team is definitely going to have to really bide their tongues and play conservatively so that way they don't get punished. Because that Martis is a problem.
Definitely. I mean, he is just always there, and if you get one Minoran Fury, it's just gonna spell trouble.
Especially stacked onto those executions. It's just such a scary sight, especially if you're doing it on top of that full barrage. Again, that's what we were talking about earlier, though. The 9thieves just do such a good job at building some of these team fighting compositions that synergize with each other.
Exactly. And I think it just comes down to show that you can see F1 doesn't want to engage fights. They're kind of staying back as far as possible. Quirky might get caught here, though. But I feel like that's what they want to do. Don't fight.
It goes exactly into what I was saying, though, earlier, was that if you look at the F1 composition, their team is more geared towards small interactions, like these really small fights, split some fights up across the map, and they'll absolutely take it. But as soon as you start stacking the teams on top of each other, 9thieves are going to win it every time.
Seeing a possible conceal play and a gank down here.
Oh man, nice set by Jay, just shooing off the 9thieves, being able to clear some of the minions for the carry, putting her back into a position where she can get and do what she wants to do.
They're just controlling this EXP so hard.
I want to see a little bit. I don't want to say more team fights from the side of the Forgotten Ones, but again, I want to see them splitting up. I want to see a 2-1-2 stack, just force splitting the 9thieves up. That's really what they have to do if they want to be successful at this point.
It is true, and I mean they're defending this gold like no tomorrow. It's gonna come down to 9T again. It's gonna just T. Like, he has to keep scaling. He has to catch someone off guard to be able to catch them, but
oh man, what a whip. Kenshin tried to get in there and tried to get on top of T, but ITGIRL, I am that girl. T putting in the work.
He definitely putting down the work, but are they going to do a 50-50 turtle, or are they going to get a pick here?
Well, is it worth it? Can they work it?
I think they have the levels.
Ripping in there, managed to secure the Lord on top of the full barrage. Kenshin taking more damage than they're comfortable with. Having to shoot off there, but the last Insanity tried to secure, but a whiff.
Dude, they were grasping at anything that they could.
The Forgotten Ones somehow managed to find a safe way home.
I was man, it's the towers, but I mean, they're gonna mop up this this first tier tower here, so easy cleanup there, and I think they're just gonna go about their day. 9T does this a lot though. They overstay their welcomes and they push a little bit too much, and I mean, it was a good response. They did take a tower out of it.
All right, I was gonna say, Kenshin, you're gonna clear those minions, man. You got 3 minions walking into your house uninvited. They didn't even bring a gift. That's crazy.
Minions bringing gifts?
Hey,
all they bring is pain.
It's suffering. Minions, the real MVP of the masked tournament.
Yeah, they just come in and kick you in the shin.
with a scooter. Just a quick scooter to the shin, and VD's in trouble. Resilius looking to make a play, but the characters, they got to respect each other and they got to respect the distance. Something that I do really like, honestly, from both of these teams is that they get really nice hero setups across the map. They look for good fights, and they're not doing the North American casual of just picking every single fight that they can. We're not seeing 20 and 30, you know, kills on each side of the map. You know, most of these games are being decided within the 10 to 15 kill range.
It's true. Looks like they're gonna force a fight here, though.
Yeah, we do see VD digging at Jay, and we see T looking to get a cleanup, but Jay just moving too quickly. Last Insanity pops, but pops for nothing. Kenshin on top of Afnan, looking to make something happen. T grabbing and grabbing and grabbing, but into the hands of Quirky.
Ooh, look at them take the middle
Fendi
tower.
gets a free mid tower.
This is what I was saying. Like, F1 just needs to keep 9T at bay. They're just being elusive. Don't fight, because that's not a fight you want to play with Martis. We already seen how that came out. It was just a chopping block for T on the side of F1.
I'll tell you what, I'm so excited to see how this game unravels. Will this be the game that the 9thieves close up the case with, or will the Forgotten Ones put them in a 2-2 matchup?
Ooh,
He taking more damage than they want. Carry really ripping up. Fendi getting caught up in that full barrage and cut down by the Nana for the kill. Savior goes down herself to the Kenshin. We are looking at a 1-for-1 trade in Marksman's. Quirky about to drop though, does go down to VD. Last Insanity, no hesitation. Resilius starts on the Lord.
Such an insane team fights there. Definitely well calculated by VD, using that last Insanity to his benefit to be able to take out Quirky, which is huge. And Finn's coming back here soon, so I don't know. I think they might reset this Lord. We'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, especially with that carry making her way back into it. Definitely can cut up some heroes if she gets a chance to. And just like that, she does. Afnan is down to the Fredrin. And T fighting for her life, cut down by Fendi. Fendi going to be starting into that Lord with the assistance of Resilius. Is going to be able to take this Lord unchallenged at the 11-minute and 30-second mark, reaching.
Yeah, that was definitely a bait. I don't. F1 is definitely just turning tides here. Harry's damage is just immense against that that fucking minnow.
Telling you, man, I'm telling you, Fanny, they've been running down to the riptide. You know, they're doing it, making their way to the dark side.
That is
Fendi
for sure.
is cutting them down, dude. You do not want to get hemmed up by carry, especially a good carry, especially a carry played by Fendi.
Yep. Forgotten One's definitely not going to be forgotten here, as they are showing 9T who's boss. They want the reverse sweep.
Man, I'm really wondering, you know, if you get into that 1v1 with Fendi and lose, is that a Fendi Bendy? Is that Fendi Bendy?
I think it might be a Fendi Bendy.
It might be. And Carrie's going to start trying to put some pressure on that tower. And does get most of it. Looks like she's going to get the secure on it. But that thing is holding on with strings attached.
He is definitely a train looking to bend your Fendi, so...
Too much. No, I'm just kidding. Overstayed your visit on that joke.
No, never.
No!
Only answer that 9T has though right now is that they have to take out Carry, right? F1 they waited and baited their time, and now they're just coming online.
But it's going to be so hard too, now that they've got the enhanced minions, really going to be able to slow push that bottom portion of the map. If they split that pressure towards the top, that split defend is going to be so hard. And that type of playstyle could absolutely, especially with the composition that I've been saying from the very start that the Forgotten Ones have, where they're going to be able to excel in these small team interactions. If they split that map with the power of the enhanced minions on that bottom side, they might be able to take everything from the 9thieves.
They're definitely thieving their way around here. You can see they're hunting. They're smelling for the rabbit. Who's gonna be the bait?
Just a bunch of dummy thick boys sitting in a bush,
Look
getting
at
ready
'em.
for a heyday.
Ooh, there's T. They're
T is
sniffing.
looking. T's looking, but I don't think she's got vision on the entire F1 team in the
Ooh, they
corresponding
want
bush.
it.
Rasilius looking to hem
There's
up.
the
T
bait.
is going to get some stuns up. T's going to go for the run, but are they aware of the two other players? No, they are not. Jay's
Oh,
going to hem them
God.
up, and they're going to get cut up by Fendi. T is in trouble. Will they get it? If Fendi does get the kill. It's 9 seconds with this, 5 seconds for this Lord about to come up, and now T is nowhere to be seen.
He just
Oh,
walked
man.
into the wrong bush at the wrong time. I'll tell you
If
that.
you guys
The
could
wait
see
bait.
me right now, I look like a little fly rubbing my hands together, getting ready to eat dinner, man.
Oh.
Forgotten Ones just putting up a show.
Yeah, they are hungry, aren't they? They're just
man.
bringing their A game now that they're actually, you know, Ken being in the EXP, and they're executing such great plays right now. So being able to take out T just within seconds of the Lord was it was great for
That
F1.
was beautiful gameplay. The camp, you know, they had their tents up, and you know, when the time came, they had their s'mores. So
Oh yeah.
I love that for the Forgotten Ones. Excellent gameplay. This is the gameplay that they've been putting up with. Really just showing out this entire tournament leading up to this point. Now the 9thieves themselves getting to get a taste of it. Looking for that 2-2 matchup, possibly going into the 5-game series. We're seeing an early full barrage coming from the Ixia, putting up a whole lot of damage on the Lord, but Fendi's on top of that mid turret, gonna be taking it. There it is. Took a little bit longer than I thought it was going to, but they got it. Beautiful
going.
pressure putting on the inside. Jay getting a beautiful set. Oh man, that is it. Harry just ripped right through it and into the 5th of the best of 5. Oh man, dude.
Talk about match point for days. F1 does not want to give up. It is now what, 3-2?
2-2. Hey, if they were 3-2, if it were 3-2,
I've done lost count. I've done lost count.
It's
F1
all right. I
just
never
slapped the count out of me.
I never learned how to count, man. I had that poor education.
You know what 69 was though, so you're good.
No one's Fendi. Come on.
Yeah,
Beautiful
just MVP,
gameplay.
yeah.
Isn't that so crazy? A 115 MVP.
115 MVP.
If I get 115, I'm going bronze. But Fendi
Well-
gets it MVP with the 88% push.
They just
That is
played
so
so
insane.
well, right? Because like, I mean, just look at the kills, right? It's 6-6. Like that was such a low kill game, but that was because they knew T was going to be an absolute menace in the early, so they just waited to the end, and you know they did what they had to do.
Yeah, absolutely, and did what they had to do is an understatement. The Forgotten Ones, they showed up, they showed out, and they're putting us in the best of 5 series. Losing 2 games in a row, then winning 2 games in a row now makes this any team series, and I'm so excited to see which direction this goes into, leading us to an awesome setup for the top 4 matches coming up next weekend, I think.
It is true. It is true. I mean, the semifinals are going to be amazing. We can already see the tenacity by all the teams. And now being 2-2, this is anybody's game at this point, right?
I'm so glad I said it earlier because I get to say it again now. I just feel like for a top 8 game, I don't feel like there is any better matchup between than the Forgotten Ones and the 9thieves, because they're just both so evened out. We saw it in the earlier matches, and we're still seeing it now. That's why we're getting to see the 5th of the best of 5 series.
Exactly.
These guys are so ready to go.
It was well executed, right? I mean, they knew how to bait. They knew how to, you know, they camped properly. They flipped 9T over and showed them who was boss.
Yeah, man, for sure. They showed up to the house, tea in hand, but no sweetener this time around. That's tough.
Yeah, T's having a rough time at this point. We're gonna see what they possibly bring through in the next game. I think they're hashing something out. To be honest, do you think the minnow was a right call?
Honestly, I didn't mind the minnow. I just don't think that they found the fights that they were looking for. I think right around the time that I had said that they needed to really, or that the Forgotten Ones really needed to focus on trying to get some of these smaller team interactions, I think that they really did do a good job of doing exactly that. And because up to that point, we did see a relatively one-sided early portion thanks to that Minotaur. So I don't know that he was a bad pick, but I think it just came to the Forgotten Ones having a better game.
I can definitely see it, but we're going to be getting into the final match drafting phase. Can F1 reverse sweep this, or can 9T finally secure the win here?
To live is to trick the
Well,
river.
well. I think at this point, the 9thieves have to ban out Fendi.
Is all that matters.
Oh, yeah.
I think they have to ban out Fendi because Fendi is just doing too much. You know, between Kenshin, between Rasilius, between Fendi, I mean, there's just not enough bans for them. I think we should make an exception and give the 9thieves at least 13 bans.
I
if we could
was
do
all
that,
for it until I heard that. No.
I think if we can give 13
Want to make
reasons,
friends with
I
Nana?
think the 9thieves will be happy and ready to go. And you know what? I'm sure Fendi would still, we'd probably end up seeing like a marksman Nana pop off with Fendi and probably still another MVP, man. They've been going. They've been going, but it looks like we're not going to get that marksman Nana as the 9thieves do ban them off. They foresaw it coming even without the 13 bans. And now Fendi's out of a Nana.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
Oh, wow. Let it be known, Forgotten Ones
I'm
finally
bored.
banned out the Diggy.
They did ban out the Diggy. I felt like the Diggy was going to come through, right? I mean, it's a wild. My guess is that they could be building more of a CC comp this time around. So that's why they're getting rid of the Diggy earlier on than later. Just because
With that being
they
said,
might show something here.
I do want to see them pick up a Valentina if they're planning to do that, because if they leave that Valentina open for Yurishi while stacking a bunch of CCs, they can absolutely be punished.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be wild, right? Do they...
I didn't cure
Oh, and there it
Yeah.
is. There it is, man. Oh, man. You guys heard it here. Zeke, the mind reader.
Valentina, but that leaves open 9T to be able to pick two heavy hitters. Do they? I don't know. Do you go with the Lilia again? I mean, the Lilia definitely shows out, but
Yeah, I mean, again, you know, I know I said it in before, you know, the Valentina as a S1 slot really isn't ideal. But if they are really looking at stacking a bunch of these CC based heroes, then you know they can make it work.
it's true. It's true. Did they picked the Edith this time around, huh?
Wow, happening, showing a little bit of a flex in the hero pool. You know, I think they're ready to bring the fight back to the Forgotten Ones. You know, they've had 2 games now to get used to the playstyle of Rasilius and get used to trying to fight Kenshin on the EXP. I'm really hoping that they're going to be able to bring their A game this game. And you know, I am confident that if anybody is going to be able to respond to the Forgotten Ones, I think T is going to be able to do it. The question is will she do it well enough to take the series?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we'll have to see here as the Nolan's picked up. I like the Nolan play here. It's going to be a strategic hero to utilize to get into that back line and stop Savior. Now, the same thing is what we need to see from 9T. They haven't had a response to Fendi. Now, a good response could be something that can peer that back lane and choose something. Right now, they're not too tanky of a lineup, so a carry's not what you'll want to go with just yet, but we'll have to see. They went with it.
They went with it. That's
wow.
That's the move. That's the move. And they banned off the Bruno. They banned off the Bruno.
They're targeting
What?
Fendi now.
You know, they banned off the Bruno, they banned off the Wanwan, they banned off the Nana. What marksman options does Fendi have? One of these heroes is not the same.
It is true. It is true. We'll have to see what they respond with. I mean,
I wonder if they're
Melissa's
gonna
still
ban off the
open.
Martis.
I would rather.
Oh, they
Mar-
banned off the Yuzong. I
Well,
think
that-
a Martis ban
that was
could
the
be
response,
Me.
right? The Yuzong would be a good response to Fendi, is being able to dive into that back line, because we're looking at such a
Right.
frontal. F1 is so frontal right now that they'll forget about that back line. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, T's got a couple options still to effectively get back there, but it is kind of slim picking. You guys are running out of options. I definitely think, you know, if we can see VD maybe pick up a Terizla and get maybe like a nice flicker in a penalty zone, I think they might be able to hem up some stuff and set the stage for the carry. But we're just not seeing enough for the carry to work with right now coming from the 9thieves.
I will choose my
Exactly.
The
And they
Claude
got rid of
ban
the
off,
Arlot.
they are absolutely banning off Fendi. That's exactly
Mhm.
what they did.
I know
Good on them.
they need
Good
to.
on them.
They're finally listening to us casters.
Yeah, I mean it's for the first time in forever.
I'm telling you. And then T picking up Tigreal though. Wild.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. They're right now. It looks like they're trying to set the stage for this carry to carry, because I mean, if you look at the slowing effects that are going to come from the Edith, the snaring that's going to come from the Lilia, and then the implosion stuns coming from the Tigreal, carry's going to have a lot to work with. So the question is how does Fendi want to respond to that?
Yeah. The Minnow. I mean, Ixia is still a good pick. I mean, because we're seeing, again, a pretty frontal, a severe frontal team by 9T, because there is no one in the back line there. So Ixia could be a good go here.
Ixia might be, especially if you can land it. Same thing we said before with that Minotaur, and then Quirky. You know, if that Valentina can make use of the Tigreal's implosion in one or two well-placed spots, that could actually open up a whole lot too. Because if you can cycle those CCs while in that full barrage of Fendi, you might see a nice wipe.
It is true. It is true. We'll have to see. I mean, they'll be able to bring it too, possibly here. Last pick is an EXP. They need something that can pierce a back line. I mean, they could opt to go again for Xborg, but they need to have a response to this lead. Ken's just been absolutely dominating VD.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you look at the team, I still feel like somebody a little bit more.
Whoa.
They go with a Cho.
Whoa.
Wow.
Oh,
That is a
Cho.
surprise. Wow.
I mean, again, they needed that backline answer. VD can execute that the way of the dragon 100% is going to be worth it.
Honestly, I think he just wanted to show off the oh wow. So
What?
VD's going to pick up the Tigreal and T's
Show? Jungle?
What do you got brewing up, T?
What
is
is
it chamomile?
What is going on here?
Is
Nani?
this chamomile? Are they trying to put us to sleep?
Nani? They are going ballsy for the last game.
Afnan ended up taking the Tigreal, and Edith was given to the VD. So we saw 3 hero swaps within there.
Wow.
Very
Wow.
bold moves coming from the side of the 9thieves. But let's see if it plays off in the final of the final game of the best of 5 series, 2-2. Right now, the score is matched up 1,500 gold to 1,500 gold at the 10-second mark.
What? Huh?
Why are we seeing us?
What is going on here?
Somebody was like, "Oh no, I accidentally clicked."
Hey
Joe.
guys, let me pop in for just a moment.
What up?
So we are gonna do a redraft. One of the players on the side of 9T had disconnected during draft. Yeah. So we're gonna do a redraft, same bands, but
All right.
yeah.
Wow, I'm surprised y'all are letting that go.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, so they're gonna surrender and then we'll go right back into it.
Sounds good. The caster desk.
All right, then.
All right. Well, that show was definitely gonna be absolutely wild if it definitely came through, but it kind of makes sense now. I wasn't suspecting
we were
a show
all
pick.
blindsided. We were just like, all right.
I was like, a
Very cool.
show? Wild.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if they can make it work,
Well, hey, it looks like we're gonna be having a redraft here. I also does the game start with 1500 gold all the time? Like what was that?
Yeah, everybody gets like 500 gold.
Oh,
You were
dang.
so confused.
I was like, huh?
You're like, is this man casting the difference in heroes between the first 10 seconds?
I'm like, what is going
This
on
man
here?
is elite. He's like Leo, and he's like Private Dancer, and he's like Tricks all combined. Combined with Caesar. Who's Caesar? The
But
Roman
hey.
Lord.
Good old redraft coming through. Hopefully at some point we'll see what goes down. I think we're still doing the same bands, but maybe I guess we could do possibly different picks. I don't know what would be going there.
I know they're gonna. I know they're replicating all of the bands, but I wonder if they're gonna force different. I feel like they should
that
force.
show was wrong, but maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel
A
like
lot of swaps happened. You caught it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everybody else should be forced to pick the same heroes. I feel like that's only fair because I feel like to allow to pick outside of that at this point is just too much freedom.
I can see it. Who knows?
Because it's like, oh, I don't like that Rasilius picked Nolan, so I'm gonna pick Nolan.
Yeah.
And I feel like that. Yeah.
I think we're definitely doing a redraft, so we'll see. We'll see. I think it'll happen here at some point. It looks like maybe the players might be revolting. I don't know. They're taking
They
some
said
time.
that somebody's game had disconnected, so they might just be waiting for it to come back. I'll tell you what, though, I was keen to see this matchup. I really wanted to see what that Joe was gonna do.
Same. I was like, yo, there ain't no way Show Jungle that would have. I was like, I've been out of the meta for a little bit, but I didn't think that long.
And just like that, folks, welcome back to 2018. We are about to Showdown.
But kind of taking a look at their drafts, I'm hoping that they pick the same drafts. I'm guessing. Maybe the Cho was the disconnect. Who knows? Maybe the Cho we might not see, but I'm guessing that they're gonna pick the same lineup here. So a Valentina,
what
a
if it was Carrie?
Khalid.
What if Cho stays? What if Carrie was the mix-up?
Carrie? Maybe. We had a disconnect from one of the teams on 9thieves, so we're waiting on the call.
Something I do notice is that Xavier did decide when they picked Carrie, they decided to go with the flicker, which means they're probably going to go the route of picking up the damage build, replicating the Fendi plays from last game. They saw Fendi putting in that work, and I think they're hoping to take that basis and make it their own. So I'm really interested to see what they do with that. And maybe it's just Fendi who can just really put things down the throat with Carrie, but I think Xavier's going to try their luck.
Yeah, true. And I mean, what we're going to see, they have a lot of CC on the side of 9T, right? Again, that could be a little bit of a problem for F1. They all have flickers. None of them have purifies. They're not worried about that CC.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a lot of CC. I feel like it's a lot of utility. A lot of slowing effects. Because, I mean, whenever you look at CC, you're looking at the pop-up from Edith, and then you're looking at Implosion. The Implosion and the push from Tigreal. But whenever you look at the Lilia, that's not really a CC. That's just snaring.
Just slow.
The slowing effects, yeah.
You got
Yeah,
the Cho
this-
though. If the Cho's there.
I got the Joe. They do have the Joe. And that's all there needs to be said about that. I feel like, I mean, granted, I guess I can't speak for the side of the 9thieves because the Cho are. We keep assuming that it's the Cho, but so far, I do think I prefer the composition coming from this side of the Forgotten Ones. I think they've got a little bit more diversity. I think that they've got good burst damage coming from the Nolan. They've got good stunning capabilities coming from Fendi and Jay. The Quirky's Valentina, you know, being able to replicate that ultimate is just such a diverse skill that opens up a little bit of differentiation in any side of any type of composition. And then there's, you know, Kenshin on his Khalid again, and we got to saw the damage that came off from that last time. So I definitely think they've got a lot of different capabilities, whether it's in their split pushing or small team interactions. Even in the big team interactions, again, because of that Fendi and Minotaur combination, I think that their team has just so much to offer. It is so far my preference. So with that being said, I do wonder what's going to change on the side of the 9thieves if both teams are mandated to hold the same heroes. I want to see what the Cho is changed off for to really even things out.
Yeah, and I mean, this is do or die too. This is the last match of the day. I'm not.
Yeah.
They're still talking it out, I think. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean,
If-
this is it though. You know,
Yeah,
this is it.
they don't wanna give it up just yet. Let's see if they surrender here. Yeah, they conceded. All right, redraft is
man.
finally happening.
The enemy that's the end of the last game. Good game, guys. No, I'm just.
So just to jump in here,
Victory!
have reach is that we're actually gonna go ahead and we're gonna keep the same draft, keep the same bands with the exception of the jungler for 9thieves.
I had a feeling it was the Cho.
Cool. Yeah, it's. Congrats to Jay for being the MVP. The 4.1. Do you guys see it first? It's a scam. The game doesn't know why it's giving you the scores that it's giving.
That's
Man,
wild.
that's funny. MVP, baby. Chocolate factory everywhere else. Oh man.
Let's see this redraft. The Cho was wrong.
That's
Who are,
sad.
who are they gonna pick then?
Again, so I'm not really sure, right? Because I don't even remember the bands.
I was
They
about to
could
say I
ban-
forgot.
They could ban anybody at this point, and I'll be like, "Yep, that makes sense to me."
That looks like that was there.
I know that's not right because of the way that it is.
Exactly.
Oh man, I'm really excited though. This has been such a good series, and I've had so much fun being able to cast it here with AIKO. You know, always bringing the energy that you've been bringing. So glad that we've made it into this 5th game of this series.
Dude, it was yesterday was a best out of 5 too, like full best out of 5, and now today's BO5. So the match tournament's bringing some bangers.
Yeah, the mass tournament is masking the face of the winner, putting up a good show every single time they stream, and you know what? I couldn't be more thankful.
Yeah, exactly. It's wild out here. They're trying to decide on what jungle they want now before they go into the bans. So that way they don't accidentally ban the jungles. Just don't ban any jungles. No.
Just don't ban any jungle.
Oh, they're going Martis. Wild.
I knew it.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah.
I knew it. That was what was one of the things I said I thought would make sense for them to ban, but they didn't because nobody ever listens to me, you know.
Easy peasy. Martis is the decision Here, I don't think they banned Martis neither, so...
No.
Alright, all teams are ready.
So keen to see how this unravels.
I mean...
Will Martis diversify the team composition that they had, though, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, we'll have to definitely see. I'll just jump into the draft. Right now, I think it's gonna... I think it's just gonna come into come down to the wait and bait again, like F1 did before against 9T, right? They're just gonna have to keep that Martis at bay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't let them scale.
Banning off random heroes to get to the draft. I love it.
Oh yeah. We're jumping back into the last match of the night.
Welcome to the last match.
Demons shall bathe in their blood.
All right. There's enough of that.
We shall see. Valentina.
The Valentina. The Lilia. The Martis.
3,000 worlds.
Elixir.
1,000 worlds.
I was like, I already forgot what they picked. No.
It's so funny. I think it's so funny some of the expressions that some of the heroes say, because Martis talks about how he's conquered 3,000 worlds, but just don't watch him get 1v1 by a preteen with cables, you know?
Give me a target.
Don't.
Kindness.
Who will win, World Conqueror or Girl with Cables?
It's always girls with cables, man.
Yeah. Ooh, who will win, guy who's conquered 3,000 worlds or this girl in this bow and arrow she found?
The bow and arrow.
It's like
we don't know her backstory. Maybe she conquered 3,000 worlds.
It's so funny because it's so funny. What is it? Oh, it's like, who's gonna win? Or it's like, nothing can stop the power of friendship in these cool guns we found. Like,
oh gosh.
oh man, I think it's so cool. I don't if you guys haven't had the opportunity to actually read the backstories of some of the heroes, they're so good. Some of them are so well made. Big fan of the Moskov. Yeah, if you guys haven't read the backstories, absolutely worth the read within the hero section. I feel like it's really entertaining to know where some of these heroes came from. Like Terizla is Julian's dad. Like, who would have guessed that?
Oh god.
Yeah,
wild.
Wild.
All right, well, we're getting into the final game of the night. No more redrafts, no more redos. Nothing left here besides Forgotten Ones versus 9thieves. Who's gonna take it all here?
Yeah, man, I'm super keen. I think at this point I think the 9thieves really got to play to their strength. They're really gonna have to depend on that Martis and on that carry on getting really nice early game development, so that way they can set the stage to really keep a push on Forgotten Ones. Otherwise, the Forgotten Ones have so much diversity within their composition that they can excel from pretty much any point on the field.
Ooh.
So nice dodge from Kenshin.
Yo,
I do think that if 9thieves don't get that early developmental advantage, I think they're gonna struggle.
Yeah, I felt that too. That's Martis is such a good jungle, but it just relies heavily on team fights. Ooh,
right.
He's not level 4.
Yeah, and when that Nolan gets that fracture, when he gets that level 4, T's gonna be in a lot of trouble.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh, Afnan.
Oh, Afnan. Taking a little bit of damage, but shooing him off. T trying to get back into the jungle. Nolan already having this level 4 definitely gives him some opportunities that the Martis is just now getting a couple, maybe 10 or 15 seconds later. Genshin trying to shoo off VD, and T, trying to be the friend to help, showing up, power of friendship is gonna kill Kenshin.
What positioning? I was kind of questioning the take that T was taking there, but that actually ended up working out, and then you know, into a kill, and we gotta watch out for that.
Yeah, absolutely. T, again, you know, just being such a good jungle, and not even a jungle, you know, just such a good player, good hero movements, good placements, good fights. But that is the whole Nine Thieves things. Mechanics are something that they are so well put into.
100%. I mean, they're putting a ton into it. This turtle is the first one of the day. 9thieves looking a little good here. Are they gonna compete for this turtle?
It looks like they're going to. VD trying to find themselves, you know, a nice little entry, but Jay trying to shoot them off. Minoa and Fury is going to pop, and that's going to give Martis actually the the turtle. Very surprising. Resilius in a bad spot. T looking to get a nice kill, but it goes to the goes to Edith instead. Sadly, that doesn't give T the ability to start popping off those executions, which she absolutely could have done.
Yeah, and he actually had his ultimate down. I think he pre-popped his execution, and then he wasn't able to capitalize on that, which
yeah,
a little rough.
Sadly. So it's like, even though you guys got the kill, because the Edith got the secure, you didn't get to make use of that play.
Yep, exactly. Like, and sometimes that's just the rough things you got to deal with here, and sometimes you just gotta give them the T sometimes and hold yourself back.
Yeah, absolutely. It's tough, dude. It's tough.
We are clearing this EXP lane. They do
Yeah,
not like Ken.
Super aggressive against Kenshin right now. But let's hope that doesn't work against them from the side of the Gold House. You know, it does look like the F1 guys are going to be try to opposing a little bit. They are going to manage to get a nice kill on Quirky. Kenshin still trying to dance on the 9thieves folks, keeping so much pressure. But oh man, Fendi almost dropped to Savior, and that would have been huge for Carrie, especially with a following up on top of that tower. So, you know, you had to pick one of the two. And, I mean, you almost know that Carrie's going to win that early fight. That Minoa Fury pops on VD, but VD just ate it.
I'm actually so surprised on how aggressive F1 is being, but this is something you got to keep an eye on too, right? Is that 9T is making them respond to them. So they're forcing them to fight, which is a good response to have here.
Yeah, definitely put somebody in a position they might not opt to be in, and you're gonna get results that are favoring yourself, right? So like we see Resilius right now, they're trying to set a stage for the Lord, but we don't have enough presence from the J or from the Quirky to really effectively do what you want to do. And now just like that, they've got to shoo off, and it almost guarantees a turtle, and it does guarantee now the turtle 4T. So just like that, at the 5-minute mark, we're seeing just over a 2,000 gold lead favoring the 9thieves. And you know, I hate to say it, but we've been here before.
Yeah, where is this going though? Kind of looking at some of the gold differences that we're seeing. Got a 500 gold lead for Carry versus the Ixia, as well as the mage is a little bit far behind. Quirky struggling a little bit on the Valentina here, so.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think some rotations are about on cue for this gold lane. Oh, Quirky, beautiful evasion. T tried to grab a hold of him and shoot him off. Ixia taking that pressure from the Tigreal. Taking that pressure from the Tigreal and Carry. Tigreal doing a beautiful cut, making sure that Ixia can't effectively cancel out or work against. Oh man, Kenshin taking a whole lot of damage. Really tried to open up on that VD, but just shut down.
What a play. VD holding back, man. He had his flicker. He had everything he needed to slightly execute him, but he just didn't want to risk it because of the sustainability that Ken has.
Yeah, it's just, again, you know, against some of these off lanes of the Forgotten Ones, you just have to play smart. Even when you're feeling confident, you have to respect the capabilities of the people that you're going up against.
Oh man, the lane swaps have already happened.
No. Implosion pops, Resilius in a bad spot. Yori trying to put that pressure down. Ixia able to clean up the lane a little bit, but not without a whole team trying to chase Quirky.
Yeah, Right now, we need to see 9thieves do exactly what they did before. Force them into team fights, but it seems like they're just going to give them towers. They could just peel into the back line and fight as much as they want. And I feel like they got to keep that pressure up.
At this point right now, the Forgotten Ones really need to play together. They have to use the unity that they have on their team and just stop getting singled out. A lot of the pressure that we've seen is you know, it's not 1v1s, it's 3v1s.
He got his blue though. A lot of pressure there, but still able to secure that blue. Holding on. The gold lead's definitely favoring 9T right now. They just haven't been able to, you know, go for any turtles because again, they're just being kept at bay and they don't want a team fight.
Right, and they need to. They need to if they want to do anything, you know. They need to clear their lanes. They need to stick to the basic fundamentals of the game. Clear the minions, challenge objectives, and then rely on the people that you trust. And that is your team. You know, use the strengths to cover the weaknesses, and then just play the enemy team into a position that you can be aggressive with. Because like it's cool to play passively, and it can work in your favor to play passively sometimes. I'm not saying always be aggressive, but the thing is if you're never being aggressive, you will never win a team fight.
Yeah, I think the thing we really got to look at is F1. What is their late game potential, right?
Yeah, and I mean, late game, they absolutely, I think, take a little bit of favor over the side of the 9thieves. Again, I love the diversity coming from the side of the Forgotten Ones, but the thing is if they're not utilizing the CCs that they have from Jay and from Fendi in conjunction with each other, they won't be able to do anything with it. So like even right there, Tigreal had a beautiful set, and Jay tried to stop it, but just couldn't make anything happen. Full barrage popped up, but the 9thieves, they've got 4 people, 3 people running around with no health, barely getting out of there.
Yeah, it's true.
That's exactly what I was talking
power.
about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You have to lean on your friends. It sounds goofy. But in the land of Dawn, the power of friendship prevails.
Ultimate bonding experience.
Yeah. The power of friendship in these guns we found.
He sounds like Captain Planet.
Yep. And you guys can trust it. You guys can trust it when I say it, as I am the thickest caster in North America.
I don't know. Private's pretty thick. I think he's got your beat.
I love him so much.
He's a potato, bro. You can't be thicker than a potato.
The potato flew around my room before you came.
Oh God.
Resilius trying not to get hemmed up by Afnon, gonna shoo off just in time to not get caught up by that carry. Carrie is, you do not want to get blindsided by her in any situation, especially when the Lord is up.
Hey, 9thieves showing a lot of tenacity right now. They don't want to give any breathing room. A concealed play made by someone.
Oh yeah, Rasilia is doing a very fantastic job of using the Rifts of Nolan to get in and out of bad situations. The 9thieves are putting a whole lot of pressure on them, but you know, we haven't seen the Lord taken yet, which is just key evidence in itself that the 9thieves still have to respect the abundant gameplay capabilities of the Forgotten Ones.
Exactly. So we'll have to see what they can bring here.
Oh, if they can get an early kill on that carry, they tried to. Oh, that Minoan Fury does pop. Quirky's trying to make something happen. Afnane and Savior both are really low on health, but Savior's going to have the opportunity to re-engage, and Kenshin's going to take the brunt of it, and he is going to drop on top of Quirky's dead body. Ooh. Fendi trying to CC out and give them a little bit of time to fend off that T, but VD. Almost, man. Almost.
They wanted that choke, but they didn't take it. They didn't take it. They said, forget it. Let's focus on the objectives.
That's crazy.
Take the mid tower.
Rearing a 6,000 gold lead. The 9thieves are going to be really tough to oppose right now.
Yeah, if they get this Lord, it is a snowball effect.
Yeah.
It is going to be rough.
Lucky for the Forgotten Ones, they've got like 13,000. They've got like 13,000 minions on the bottom lane that just managed to steal a tower by themselves.
13,000 minions. You mean the Winions, bro?
Oh, I'm telling you, MVPs, man.
The Winions of the year, man.
I wish that the
Ultimate
minions-
Player Award.
I kind of wish that the minions were given like little voices.
Charge! Be funny. That'd be awesome. I wonder how many minions were killed in the making of this tournament.
All of them. Oh, beautiful set. Minoa and Fury on top of the full barrage is going to be enough to punish. Afnan YouTube does go down. Nice play.
Nice, G. That was a good go. I mean, they're definitely holding out as long as possible, and they are fighting back, which is also wild, right? You're at such a gold difference, but you're still clapping back. Kind of taking a look at what is going on here. We can take a look at Minnow actually has. I was like, who has the most kills? And then like I'm looking at the kills and it's Minnow. Minnow and Fendi.
But
So
I am keen to see what now the Nolan can pop off with. Having gotten his most recent item, the Malefic Roar, that extra penetration is going to do huge against that Tigreal, against the Martis, against the Edith. You know, especially because we can see that the Tigreal and the Martis are both slotting, you know, that antique Cuirass, that prerequisite to build up to. And I definitely think that'll help him get through that.
yeah, 4 of them are building defensive items right now, right? Carries a little bit of a hybrid. You know, they have the Demon Hunter sword, they have the Malefic Roar, so they're going to be penetrating through all of that defense. They're just going to have to watch out.
Oh, VD almost caught Rasilius lacking, but not today.
I was actually super confused. I was like, there's no way he makes it out of that, but he's a little slippery guy.
Yeah, Rasilius, you gotta respect the hustle coming from that Nolan. He is just rift on rift, in and out. And I'm not talking burgers.
They're holding the line, man. F1 is holding it in. And I think, I wonder if they can, I don't think they can compete for this next Lord, but maybe if they can get a pick, maybe.
You know what this game feels like right now? It feels like, I don't know if you guys are up to date on your Star Wars, but I've got high ground and Forgotten Ones are like, you underestimate my power. That's what we're looking at right now. Can Forgotten Ones Anakin Skywalker this?
We'll have to see. It's like the Death Star, right? Can they shoot through there?
Oh no, they're letting the minions march up to the mid lane. The minions are gonna try to cut down the inner tower, and it looks like they do get it. A clean tower take in the middle of the map. That's gonna make things a little bit complicated.
It is true. They don't really have any escape here if they do engage, so let's see what they do.
Rasilius finding themselves popped in the middle of the implosion, taking a whole lot of damage.
God!
Pop on top of the full barrage. Nolan's gonna get the kill on T, but Afnan is gonna go down also to Kenshin. We're gonna see a 3-piece special in favor of the Forgotten Ones. Still 7,000 gold behind, but you know what? No Lord push for you. I bet they're doing a little dance in their little gaming chairs right now, just smiling it up, knowing that they're going to be able to take this next Lord, you know, Illuminous Lord,
no contest. That full barrage and then the complete set by the Minnow was just a menace.
I'm telling you, it is so potent. And that's what I was saying. They do have the team fighting capability because of those two heroes in conjunction. And when they can utilize it, even with a 7,000 gold deficit, you saw it right there, they can still make big things happen.
That, when you think they're down, they're actually up. F1 securing the Lord here. This is the breathing room that they needed. They're going to utilize this. They need to sweep up as many towers as they possibly can here.
I mean, they've still, even though they're catching up in gold, you know, the enhanced minions still existing within that middle portion of the map working against them. That slow push is still something to take into account.
It's
right
true.
now we're gonna see Nolan trying to put a little bit of pressure on the top side of the map while working split map against the Lord. Edith is gonna try to work in response to the Nolan, but it looks like that's gonna leave a little bit more ground open for the Lord. Tigreal and Martis trying to actually get up in there, but Jay waiting, biding their time, seeing if they can catch a fly.
Catch a fly. They are mopping up these turrets, though. Good defense by the enemy team, though.
Ground, but they're the Lord is taking too much damage, and they're not pushing enough on that inner turret.
Ooh.
I know if Fury pops, and they're gonna get a nice kill on Afnan, while minions are making their way into the inner towers.
This is wild.
Honestly, it was a good push, good control, but I'm not sure it was the push that at least I was hoping for. I was hoping they were going to take at least one more tower. You know, because now you are in a time frame where you're waiting, but they did manage to make the entire gold deficit back up and make an even game playing field. 7 kills to 6 kills, actually favoring the Forgotten
Hit the
ones.
stonks, bro.
Yeah, 52,000 gold to 52,000 gold at the 18-minute mark.
Yeah, it's gonna come down to Savior at this point. They gotta keep him protected and watch out for the CCs. If they can catch Fendi off guard, I think 9thieves can take back the game. But they gave F1 a lot of breathing room here, so they are chasing Ken.
That's definitely, to say the least, honestly. Again, if Fendi, you know, Fendi's developing very well, doing exactly what Fendi does, and if they continue to get some more kills and a little bit more fed, absolutely going to be a big issue for everybody. Oh, and they do get a beautiful set. Minoa Fury does pop. Kenshin trying to rip up some damage, but gotta heal himself. Yorishi taking some more damage than they want to take. Full barrage, really putting in the work, but not going to secure the kill that they wanted it to. T trying to keep the pressure. Quirky is going to get out of there, and both teams make it out of the other team's grasp without losing a single hero. Beautiful escapes on both sides of the map. Oh! I spoke too soon. BD goes down.
Oh, BD was down here at the bottom of the map. I didn't even see his little sneaky guy.
Yeah, he escaped my eye either, but he did not escape the eye of Kenshin. And that might really make it difficult in a 5v4 situation for the 9thieves to now in an equal playing field try to effectively contest. Beautiful implosion pop. Beautiful response to full barrage. Well, looks like we're going to get the Minnow and Fury popped up, but a little too late. Afnan got to get out of there. Kenshin low on health. T's doing all right, but without a team present, maybe they're not.
Man, I mean, that was a great holdout by 9T. That gave them breathing room. Hopefully VD coming back in time. Let's see if they can opt in. It might come down to a 50-50 of a retribution battle.
Absolutely. Vasilius really needs to be slippery right now. Not having a team present with them and being so close to Savior is not where they want to be. Jay having really good footage to be able to get in there and start causing up a ruckus.
Exactly.
But something's got to give right now because they're looking for an opening that's not there, and hopefully Kenshin's going to be able to provide that for them. Full barrage does pop up. Afnan does go down. Lord goes through Vasilius. Fendi takes a kill on VD. And T goes down, and Fendi goes down. And Savior goes down, and only Yorishi is left.
Is this it?
With Lord impending. Yorishi and Quirky hand in hand. No bodies left on the map. Forgotten Ones takes the series.
Wow. The reverse sweep.
Oh man.
What a series. Wow.
Spectacular. Absolutely phenomenal gameplay coming from the Forgotten Ones. The 9thieves as well, putting up a fantastic fight in all 5 games within the series, but somehow the Forgotten Ones, they got the game together, and regardless of the situation that they were put in, managed to not only survive, but persevere in the end.
What
Wow.
a series. Fendi's like the overall MVP. Like
I'm telling you, you guys, everybody thought I was crazy.
Everybody thought I was crazy.
You thought I was
definitely MVP to Fendi. Just and add and you gotta give it up to Jay though too. Just their teamwork and their combinations there are what really won that, right? It was just the Minnow Fury and then the full barrage just deleted 9T.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what too, Quirky getting that trade kill with the Lilia at that end, so beautiful. I mean, it kind of sucks that you had to die, but you know what? You took the only remaining teammate on their field off of the map. So with that being said, secured the entire win for your team.
Wow.
Beautiful gameplay coming from the Forgotten Ones. 9thieves, you know,
sweep.
we're sorry to see it, but excellent gameplay coming from you guys, and I'm so happy that I was able to be here tonight with G the AIKO and be able to not only cast, but just being able to watch these games.
Definitely, it was a great night. Best out of 5 once again, going the full way. Again, guys, this is the Mash tournament. If you guys haven't known, big shout out to Moonpie. She also has a YouTube as well. I'm streaming on it as well there. So if you guys are there, definitely huge shout out. Much love to the whole community. ZEKIEL coming out here. It was definitely insane. This match that we seen here was insane. Just mind blowing. And there's more to come. We still got I think more top 8s to do. We still got a game tomorrow. So definitely stay tuned. Make sure you guys are subscribed, liked. Any last words?
Don't do drugs, guys.
I guess that's one way to say